Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeehaw! Happy New Year. Guys, it is championship week for most people out there. There is a ton going on this week, a ton that you need to know, positive and negative, as we head into our week 17 matchups. I'm going to do a quick rundown for everybody real quick. And then if you've got fantasy questions for us, questions you need help to win your championship, throw them in the chat. We would be more than happy to answer any and everything you got thrown our way. The big news for your fantasy championship week is that Jalen Hurts is out. So if Jalen Hurts helped you get to this point, he is not going to be playing in the fantasy championship. Gardner Minshew will be starting for the Philadelphia Eagles. So pay attention to that. Some other players that are out this week. Colt McCoy is out, which means David Blau is going to get the start in Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins also not playing this week. So you're not going to get either of those guys playing on the Arizona Cardinals. Tua Tagovailoa is inactive this week as well, so another star quarterback not playing, as is Lamar Jackson. So we got three of the top fantasy quarterbacks all not playing here in championship week. So hopefully you made other plans for that. But we've got some exciting games on the slate too, some real fantasy shootouts. The Bears at the Lions with a 52.5 point over-under. Man, we've got the Bills-Bengals game on Monday night, 49.5 point over-under. It's going to be a good week, baby. So let's get into it. You guys got any championship matchups you're sweating out?
Oh yeah, I got 3 championship matchups. I'm sweating out this week. I'm excited. I love fantasy football.
I've got 7, and I'm projected to lose in 6. So let's go. 7 out of 24.
How many leagues are you in, Joey?
24.
24. Damn.
Yeah, that's a good percentage.
I remember I told you very, very sadly on Tuesday, I made no championships. Then you're like, wait. You made it in our Dynasty League, to the best surprise ever. Turns out I misread everything on Sleeper. I made it into 3 of them that I'm sweating out.
Nice.
Oh my God.
So I'm sweating out 3 championships right now.
You almost didn't realize you were in 3 different fantasy championships.
I was so sad on Tuesday. I was like, I was in all these semifinals and I didn't make any of them.
You just stopped checking and assumed.
Turns out I was just tired. And didn't read it properly. We got Tommy in the chat saying, yo, happy New Year. Let's go. What's up, Tommy?
Let's go.
What up, Tommy?
Saying, wishing you guys in the FYF family nothing but the best in 2023. Absolutely. We got Dame in the chat. What's up, Dame? Dame saying, hi, beautiful fellas.
Hey, what up, Dame?
Happy New Year, Dame. Welcome in. And Jolly
Best
Rancher.
of luck to you this weekend.
Yeah, Dame and the Scott Fishbowl finals this week. Yeah. Keep us updated, Dame. And Jolly Rancher saying, happy New Year, FYF. Happy New Year, Mom. Welcome in.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We got Stephanie in here saying, morning all. Can't wait for the Bills game. With that being said, I've been pretty loyal to Knox, but debating on starting him or Dallas Goedert. John Luke, put yourself in Stephanie's shoes. You've been pretty loyal to Dawson Knox all season, but now it's championship week and you got a shiny Dallas Goedert sitting on the bench. Are you rolling out Dawson Knox, who's gotten you to this point? Or are you switching? You pull him the deal or no deal, swap the case at the last second and starting Dallas Goedert.
I think I'm sticking with Dawson Knox. I'm going to pull up the matchups here. Joey, I'm curious what you think while I do that.
Yeah, I've got Knox as my tight end 12. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a shootout with Cincinnati and Buffalo, but I would still start Dallas Goedert. Since he's been back, he's looked really well. And Gardner Minshew seem to have a really good rapport.
Now they do have New Orleans, which is the #1 defense against the tight end. So you got to take that into account, but it's close. It's close for me. I'm going to switch here. I'm going to switch to your side, Joey, and lean Dallas Goedert over Dawson Knox because Dawson Knox doesn't have that great of a matchup either, which is a little worse than middle of the pack.
I think the matchup is going to be enough to scare me off to Dawson Knox. Dallas Goedert generally is a tier above Dawson Knox whenever I'm going through and making my tight end decisions, but that New Orleans Saints matchup is terrifying to me for the tight end position. So I am going to I'm going to roll out Dawson Knox instead this week. But you got 2 Dallas Goedert votes, 1 Dawson Knox. What's up, Joey?
I benched Goddard for Tyler Higbee in a tight end premium league this morning, which felt really weird.
Higbee.
But Higbee has been great with Baker Mayfield, which nobody thought was going to happen. But yeah, strange decisions we make in week 17.
100%. I wanted to bench Tyler Higbee in a championship matchup just because it doesn't feel good having him in that tight end slot. But I'm sitting there like, I'm not going to start Jawan Johnson over him. Like maybe a couple weeks ago I would have, but he's bumped his way up that tier list with Baker Mayfield at QB. Lucius in here. What's up? Or I saw Maria in the chat as well saying, sorry, I'm late, guys. Was busy watching FYF shorts. Head on over to our YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy. Check out some of the shorts. The reason why Maria was late. And then Lucius in here saying, finally here, guys, in 4 championships today, and you have helped all season. Been a journey, and I appreciate all the laughs and help along the way. Lucius, thank you so much, my friend. And you got to these championships.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all you.
I'll go win them all. Win every single one of them.
One of them.
Albert in here saying, good morning, everyone. What's up,
Good
Albert?
Morning, Albert.
Albert.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I did have one start-sit question for you guys. Maybe you could help me make it.
Tell us.
I brought it up to Joey before the show, and I think I'm sticking with what I'm rolling out. But it is Isaiah Pacheco or Evan Ingram in one of my flex spots in a full point PPR league. So it's full point PPR, which is the only reason I think this is even a question. And that connection between Evan Ingram and Trevor Lawrence makes me tempted to plug him in there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear where Joey lands on this. I'm going to lean the running back here. It's close enough. Yeah. Even though it's PPR, I'm still going to lean the running back and Isaiah Pacheco going against Denver.
And that's what I said this morning. I mean, Denver did not look like the shutout run defense last week. I don't think Denver's going to be the team that shows up just because their head coach got fired like the Carolina Panthers did earlier this year. But you never know. But with Evan Ingram, my biggest worry with Evan Ingram is that, one, the Jaguars don't really need to throw to win this game. And that if the Jaguars do take a big lead, Evan Ingram, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne might hit the bench because next week's the game that really matters for the Jaguars. There is a scenario where they can still get a wild card, but the division win next week is what really matters to the Jaguars. So I think they go up early, but Houston's looked good the last couple weeks. I'd still go Pacheco.
That's the way I'm leaning. And Doug Peterson, like you bring up that they don't need to win this week, and I agree with you. And Doug Peterson has been relentless, though, in saying, I am not resting starters this week. I'm not resting starters this week. But I think that tune changes if they go up 21 points and need to win next week. I'm with you. He's only going to take that so far.
Exactly.
We had some more questions come in here. One from Lucius. Lucius wanted to know Ayuk or Dotson. Joey, would you be starting Brandon Ayuk or Jahan Dotson this week?
I like Ayuk this week. I like Dotson as well, but I've got Ayuk as a wide receiver too this week. He's my 22nd wide receiver in my rankings. Love the matchup against Las Vegas for him.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Brandon Ayuk as well against Las Vegas. Though I think Dotson's startable. He's more of a boom bust play, but you can get Dotson in there. What are you doing, JL?
Yeah, that Cleveland matchup is a little tougher than the Las Vegas matchup for Ayuk. These guys are semi-close. So I'm going to give it to Ayuk. Here.
Lucius also wanted to know the New England defense or the Jags DST. So, John Luke, would you be going with the Patriots defense this week, or would you be going with the Jaguars defense? Jags going up against Houston, and New England has the Teddy Bridgewater-led Miami Dolphins.
In this one, I'm going to go the Jacksonville Jaguars going against Houston. I don't think they're going to be able to do much. New England Patriots, even though Tua isn't playing, I still expect Teddy Bridgewater to play fine. And the Patriots, they've been good. They have been good. But this is a division game. It should be fun.
Joey, which way are you rolling here?
Yeah, full agreement. I love the Jags DST. That was the DST that I went out and grabbed this week. It's kind of like my streaming defense or special teams. I love that matchup against Houston. And I don't think Teddy's going to be bad today. I think he's going to support Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just fine. I mean, I don't think they're going to have the blow up games they normally do, but Teddy getting the start didn't really move Hill or Waddle very much in my rankings. Down maybe 1 or 2 spots, but not drastic at all. So I kind of like Teddy this week.
Yeah, I think I'll roll with the Jaguars DST as well. They also seem like the safer play in this case, right? Like I'm even though the New England defense is better, I'll take the team going up against Houston instead of the team going up against Miami.
How do you scheme for a Teddy Bridgewater, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle offense? Like
this?
Whoa.
You go to mass on Saturday night, probably. Talk to your priest.
You're at midnight mass going like, dear God, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Oh my God.
that midnight New Year's Eve mass.
There's lots of sinners in Miami.
The ball drops and Bill Belichick's just mumbling to himself like, God, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. What the hell, man? Just can't get over it. Damon here said, go time, boys. CPAT or Carter? Patterson in my lineup currently, but think he is TD dependent with Atlanta's situation. Joey, which way you rolling here?
I'm actually going to go Michael Carter. I think this is a big Tyler Algier game. But this Seattle run defense is really bad. They'll be on the road. So I think Carter and Zonovan Knight can both get work today. I know it's not probably the popular pick, but I would probably go Michael Carter here.
Joey, that's the way I was going to lean here as well.
Okay.
It really seems I trust Michael Carter's role this week more than I trust Patterson's. So I'm going to roll Michael Carter out there. It seems like Algier's really taken over.
Yeah.
John Luke.
Matchup's really good for Patterson, though.
Yeah, I kind of lean Patterson on this one. It is close, but the matchup going against Arizona is nice. The matchup against Seattle for Carter is nice too. I'm just gonna lean Cordero Patterson though.
I get it.
I don't blame you. I think it's really close. Also, I see your average Joe in here says, I have the prayers and power of anime on my side, but I need continued support from everyone to beat the league villain who is J-Wall. He must not win.
Yeah.
That we can support. Now that is a cause we can
really support that.
Joe, we are fully behind you in today's cause.
Simon, you didn't make it to the championship?
No, I made it to the last place championship.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not doing so hot in that league.
It's
a rebuilding dynasty league is what that league is. You got a lot of young players. I had to sell off all of my older assets and start a rebuild pretty early into that dynasty league's creation.
You can do it.
Yeah, I sent J-Wall a text this morning. He was very supportive of me when I got to go to the Bucks game earlier this year, and I was really excited. And J-Wall gets to go to the Eagles game, but it's not till next week. And so I was like, dude, have a great time today. I'm so happy for you. And then I was like, wait, that's not till next week. Never mind.
So he's going to the Week 18 Eagles game?
Which could be if they lose today, the Eagles need to win that game to get the number one overall place in the playoffs.
Yeah. So it could be a good one. So J-Wall might, even though he's an Eagles fan, now he'll cheer for them to win today and gladly watch Gardner Minshew next week instead of cheering for them to lose today so we can watch a meaningful game.
All I know is the Eagles have not won a game this season that J-Wall's been in attendance. So they also haven't lost one, though.
Coincidence?
So,
yeah. I think not. We had a question in here from Albert. Albert wanted to know Brian Robinson or Tyler Algier in half PPR. Joey, half PPR. Are you rolling out Brian Robinson or Tyler Algier this week? Decent matchups for both.
Yeah, what do I love more than anything when my players are back-to-back in my rankings? I've got Tyler Algier one spot ahead. I love this matchup for him. I love the work he's been getting in the last few weeks. Arizona has been one of the worst teams against the run the last 4 weeks. Give me Tyler Algier. I do like Brian Robinson. Find a way to get them both in your lineup if you can.
John Luke, which way are you rolling here?
I'm gonna lean Brian Robinson. I'm gonna lean Brian Robinson on this one. I agree with Joey. This is very, very close. Matchups are great. Cleveland for Brian Robinson is fantastic. He's been getting the workload, which is exactly what you want to see. I think Cleveland's gonna be able to shut down a lot of the passing game.
These guys are super close. For the same reason I didn't pick Cordero Patterson in the last one, I am going to pick Tyler Algier in this one. I think Tyler Algier's got this role a little bit more secured, though. With Gibson out, it's looking pretty clear for Brian Robinson as well this week. Good problem to have.
Yeah, I said I liked them both. I would start them both over Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker, and Najee Harris. Like, some of those guys have tough matchups. Aaron Jones is kind of hobbling around a little bit. I think both of them are great starts, yeah.
Brian Robinson and Tyler Algier, stamp of approval, but tough choice you got to make there, Albert. Jeff in here saying, good morning, all. What's up, Jeff? Welcome in. Glad to have you hanging out with us. And Calvin said, with Swift, Pacheco, CMC, Ramondre, and Akers, can I sit ETN this week in non-PPR? I know it's just the semis in my home money league this week. So semifinals, they got a week 18 matchup. You guys benching ETN for Swift, Pacheco, CMC, Ramondre, and Akers. What are you doing, Joey?
Not for Swift. I have ETN as my running back 5. Even if I think he's going to play the whole game. If I believe Doug Peterson. Please don't lie to me, Doug Peterson. You've never lied to me before. Please don't do it now. I love ETN. The matchup's great for him this week. So, yeah, I don't think I would sit him for Swift. I know that matchup in Chicago is good. Yeah,
I'd have him. I've had him over Cam Akers, Swift, and Stevenson. So I'm not benching him this week.
No, neither am I. I'm trying to get him in there. I am, like Joey, taking Doug Peterson at face value whenever he says that they're going to play the whole game. And if they go up by 21 points, ETN's probably had a pretty good game so far at that point.
a Jaguars coach has never lied to us or been untrustworthy in the past. So
No, we have not been burned by any Jaguars coaches recently. Everything
Never.
they've said and done has been 100%
Mhm.
trustworthy. Shout out Urban Meyer.
Ugh,
Go
no,
Bucks.
don't.
Dame Overboard, you said, love those Steve Young Bucks colors, Joey.
Yeah, these are Steve Young Bucks colors. It's funny. I got a bunch of Bucks apparel when I was going to that game, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the throwback, and they've been playing like the throwback Bucks since then, like not winning. So they did win the game. I went
and
to
not winning.
Yeah.
Calvin in here also said, for the context for that question, it was start 2 running backs, start 2 flex, and he prefers 4 running backs, but also has Jahan Dotson, Zay Jones on the bench. You guys trying to get Jahan Dotson or Zay Jones in there over any of those running backs? I don't think so.
Nah.
No.
I'm with you. Kobe Bean in here. What's up, Kobe?
Kobe Bean.
Pick 4, full PPR, 2 starting running backs, 2 flex spots. The options are Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, Ramondre Stevenson, Cam Akers, Kenneth Walker, Tyler Algier, Jerick McKinnon, Zay Jones, and Mike Evans.
Jeez.
So we got a hefty list right here. We got to pick 4 of these, 2 running backs, 2 flex. Joey, are there any names that jump off the page at you immediately?
So yes, Saquon, Eckler, and Ramondre, those are 3 you're getting in the lineup. Even Damian Harris back, I think Ramondre Stevenson's still going to be great today. So really for me, it's about finding that 4th guy out of the rest of them. I would sit Zay Jones out of that group and Kenneth Walker because he's got a little bit of an injury concern. Man. You know what? I'm going to say Mike Evans. Both of the cornerbacks for the Panthers are out this week. Mike Evans needs to get going if the Bucs are going to make a playoff run. This is the way to do it. Mike Evans will be my 4th guy.
I like that, Joey. I'm with you.
No temptation by Jerick McKinnon, who's been hot recently.
I'm very tempted by him.
But Joey's like, I never said there was no temptation for Jerick McKinnon.
Exactly. I mean, you've got some great options, Kobe Bean. But it's going to be Evans as the 4th guy for me. Maybe I'm a little bit homer
enough to put him in there,
but
I'm tempted enough to put him in over Evans.
I
understand it.
I think I'm with Joey here. I think I go Saquon, Eckler, Ramondre, and then Mike Evans. Mike Evans is that 3rd one or 4th one. But man, that's close. What do you guys think? Do you think McKinnon is in a spot to smash again this week? Or do you think with the tougher matchup, we're going to see a letdown game from McKinnon after he's been hot recently?
I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right going against Denver. Denver hasn't been as scary as they were in the beginning of the season, getting rid of Bradley Chubb and all that. I think he'll be fine. They've been using him in situations where they need to score. So I think McKinnon's going to be able to score this week.
Joe, you in on McKinnon as well?
I am on McKinnon. I hope that we get the Denver defense from last week for him so that he can just have like the greatest game in the history of football. But there's that question like, okay, will Denver's defense actually show up? You do have to, I love narratives and like, are the Broncos just going to show up this week? Now that Nathaniel Hackett's not there anymore, we'll see.
Is that what they say, Joe?
That's what they say when they show up.
Here I am. We got Better Boss in the chat saying, Happy New Year, everyone. In 2023, the year of FYF. Oh, y'all are in trouble if that's true. Watch out. So many poop jokes. And Happy New Year,
all over
Matt.
the place.
Jared in here saying, leaning towards Chark and Dotson over James Cook and Pittman for my final 2 spots in PPR. Agree or disagree? So really, we need 2 of Chark, Dotson, Cook, and Pittman. John Luke, which 2 of those 4 would you be throwing in there?
Dalvin Cook or James Cook?
James Cook.
James Cook, of course. Of course, that's what you said. I think I'm going to go. And then, wait, what was the last one?
It is DJ Chark, Jahan Dotson, James Cook, and Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman, that's right. All right. Out of these 4 guys, I'm picking 2. I'm gonna go Pittman and I'm gonna go Dotson.
Pittman and Dotson. What about you, Jerry?
Dotson's the slam dunk start out of these 4 for me. Between Chark, Cook, and Pittman, it's kind of muddy for me. I can agree with Pittman. I'm a little worried about him with Nick Foles, but not worried enough to where I would sit him for DJ Chark or James Cook.
Man, but that matchup, the Chicago Bears matchup for DJ Chark It's really, really tempting. I think tempting enough for me to do what you're doing, Jared. I think I would start Chark and Dotson in those two spots over James Cook and Michael Pittman. I just love the upside for DJ Chark this week in that game against the Lions. That should be a shootout, especially with Justin Fields playing. Will DeBet wanted to know full point PPR, Slayton or Dortch? JL, you starting Dortch or you starting Darius Slayton?
Oh, I am definitely starting Slayton over Dortch. The matchup's a little tougher for Slayton. He's going up against the Indianapolis Colts, while Dortch is going against the Falcons, but he's a bigger part of that offense.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, I like the start of Dortch, but I'll go Slayton here. The Giants are actually playing for something where the Arizona Cardinals are not.
Bonk.
And they've got, was it Blau?
David Blau.
I do think Dortch will probably, because we're got no DeAndre Hopkins. So I think him and Marquise Brown are both fine because they both kind of low ADOT guys. So yeah. Dortch is I was thinking of who's the other wide receiver for the Cardinals?
Rondale Moore.
Isabella.
Rondale Moore, I was thinking. He's like a negative ADOT guy. He catches every pass behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Yeah, Moore and Dortch. Dame over here wanted to know favorite DFS salary today. I'll go with one of the players I just mentioned in DJ Chark, sitting there at only $6,000 on FanDuel. It's a cheap wide receiver and a very plus matchup. An expected shootout. I like that one. You guys got any that stand out to you?
I'll have to look them up and get back to you.
Okay. Another one,
I had to pull up.
Romeo Doubs. If Christian Watson doesn't play, which he hasn't practiced at all week, said he was going to test his hip in pregame, sitting there at 5,900 on the FanDuel Sportsbook with the best matchup that a wide receiver can have. I wouldn't mind Romeo Doubs there. Joe, you got me?
Yeah, I'm trying to stack Packers, so I agree with you on that. That's what I was going to say with Doubs. So.
Oh, shoot.
It's okay.
Look at me.
I do like Zonovan Knight, too. His salary was, I believe, right at 6,000 last time I looked.
It's pretty low.
Andre Stevenson's at 7,000. That's pretty juicy.
Yeah, that's nice. I think that's because Damian
well.
Harris is back and people are getting a little nervous, but I'm not buying it.
Me neither.
We
had Alex's question. He wanted to know AJ Dillon or Swift. JL.
ASMR fantasy.
Do we know the league format?
No, we know that it was asked by our friend Alex Smith. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, Alex, I feel like every Swift question has to come with a caveat of like, is this PPR or not? Because it kind of shifts a lot for him. I'm going to lean Swift here in PPR formats. That, like Joey mentioned earlier in the show, that Chicago matchup is perfect.
Man, I want pieces from this game, though. I want pieces from this Green Bay, Minnesota game. And with Aaron Jones being banged up, I think I lean A.J. Dillon here. But it's super close between the two players. What about you, Joey? Break the tie.
It'll be a DeAndre Swift for me. Earlier this season, the Bears were giving up multiple double-digit fantasy performances per game to teams. To run.
It's a dungeon digit.
A dungeon digit?
A dungeon digit.
Yeah, it's Swift. I knew because JL got tongue tied earlier, and I'm like, it's gonna happen to me, so I'm not gonna get cocky.
Well, I didn't say it earlier. Even when I finally said it right, it still wasn't right. I just didn't stop that time.
No,
I still said it wrong.
We are the wrong group of people to mispronounce something in front of, because if it's funny enough, it's now part of the vocabulary forever. Yeah. You'll be reminded of it every time that word comes up for the rest of your life. Dungeon digit. We had a question from Calvin come in here. Wanted to know Daniel Jones, Minshew, or T-Law. Pick one. John Luke, between these three quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, and Trevor Lawrence, who are you starting? Do you believe Doug Peterson? I think is the real question here. It's Jail. Do you believe Doug Peterson that he's not resting any of his starters?
Yeah, I think I got to go Trevor Lawrence here still. I'm not going to play that game.
Joey, what about you?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's T-Law for me as well here. We're believing you, Doug Peterson. Joey said it earlier. Do not deceive us, please.
Let us down,
if you do, I will make a video about you in the woods.
And it will only be slightly nice.
Yeah, Doug. Doug without
nice,
Peterson really after it is such a funny name to be mad at. Like,
Doug.
Doug. Like, I feel like you can say it with such emphasis. Nick sent here a question for us. Josh Jacobs or Miles Sanders in full PPR? Joey, which of those running backs would you be rolling with here in championship week?
I've got him back to back. I'm gonna go
favorite.
Miles. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders though. I'm actually gonna make that move. I'm trying to get away from this Raiders offense today. I see another question in there from Gavin that I can't wait to get to. But yeah, I'm gonna go Sanders over Jacobs. Jacobs has been awesome. He's helped you win get you to this championship week. But I do like the work for Sanders today, especially with no
John
Jalen
Luke,
Hurts. So goal line touchdowns should go Sanders' way.
Sanders has been a little bit worrying. I don't know. Sanders has not been the same consistent Sanders that we've seen this year. I think I'm going to go Josh Jacobs here. It is a tough matchup against San Francisco, but he's just had that consistent workload.
I'm not like benching Josh Jacobs in all scenarios. I don't want it to sound like that. I think Miles Sanders is a good enough play, especially with Jalen Hurts out, that you can avoid this Jared Stidham-led Raiders offense against one of the best, if not the best, run defenses in the league. So I'm going to roll Miles Sanders out there. I'm with you, Joey, but man, it's scary.
Ooh.
It's scary for Josh Jacobs this week. Who was that, Jay?
It wasn't me.
It was Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee.
Evan Gittleman in here has a question. Said Guillotine League. Well, congratulations, first of all, on making it to your Guillotine League championship, unless it's going next week. Half PPR, pick 3. CMC, Saquon, AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs, or Dalvin Cook. Man, I love Guillotine League questions. Look at that staple of players that we're picking 3 from right there.
That's hot.
Joey, any that jump out to you immediately as they got to start? You got to get them in there.
I mean, he said my 1, 2, and 4 running backs, pretty much McCaffrey, Barkley, and Dalvin Cook. Were there any wide receivers mixed in there that I missed?
Stephon Diggs and AJ Brown, and that
Good
Stephon
God.
Diggs against the Bengals. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'll actually start the 3 running backs. I will. I love Stephon Diggs, but AJ Brown's an easy sit, which is weird to say, but out of these players, he's kind of an easy sit.
It's the Gardner Minshew one. Yeah. The Gardner Minshew whole situation. I'm benching him too.
Mm-hmm.
The question for me is between Stephon Diggs and Dalvin Cook, but
and I'm gonna go on the Cook side of that dilemma because I'm with you, Simon. It is the same dilemma.
But don't you want on Monday night?
Don't you change my mind? Don't you change my mind?
Your fantasy football championship on Monday night comes down to arguably the best wide receiver in the league in a game with Super Bowl implications, with all the hype to be the game of the year. And you got to sit down to see if Stephon Diggs can win you your fantasy championship.
Simon, I told you don't change my mind. You just went up and did it.
Wait.
Like it was nothing.
Woo!
I'm going Stephon. Let's go.
Stephon Diggs is due for a game because he's not been double-digit fantasy points since week 13?
It's been a couple weeks.
What a chump.
Yeah. This is the game to do it. This is the game to do it against the Bengals. I do think I go Stephon Diggs there over Dalvin Cook. But it is so close.
Oh, yeah. He's not finished. He's finished as wide receiver 62, 42, and 57 in the past 3 weeks. Stephon Diggs. And the matchup against Cincinnati is tough.
I think I smell a Diggs game coming.
It's got to be a Diggs game coming.
Stinky.
It's got to be a Diggs game.
You can smell that?
Yeah. Oh, I can smell it.
Oh, I can smell it from here.
I thought it was a fart, but nope.
That's just Stephon Diggs.
Just Stephon Diggs. Guys, we're going to keep on answering fantasy questions up until kickoff today, so make sure you get them into the chat, and we are more than happy to answer any and everything you throw our way. Coming up, we're going to do that. We're going to make sure you guys are prepped, have all the inactives ready to go in your ears as soon as they are in our computer screens right here. But right now, you're listening to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network.
What's going on, everyone? Matt Bruning here with Campus to Canton on behalf of the Better Sports Network, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the bowl games for Monday, January 2nd, and give you some better bowl bets. We're going to start with the Real Quest Bowl, Mississippi State versus Illinois. Illinois has a bunch of opt-outs in this game. Their top 2 cornerbacks are gone, and it looks likely that their top running back, Chase Brown, who's going into the NFL draft, will not play as well. The real story around this game, though, is the untimely passing of legendary head coach for Mississippi State, Mike Leach, who passed recently. Mississippi State's going to be up for this game, and they had by far one of the top offenses, a top 12 offense in explosive rate. Take Mississippi State, lay the 1.5. I just don't see any way they lose this game to honor the great Mike Leach. Next, we're going to move to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Tulane versus USC, which should be a really fun and exciting game here. Tulane's offense, 63rd in success rate, 79th in explosive plays, and 79th in rush EPA, which sounds like a bad matchup when you hear they're going up against USC's 35th ranked defense against the run. However, defense for USC struggles in tackling, and that plays big for Tajay Spears, who's not only physical, but can make you miss. USC, though, is buoyed by the best college quarterback in the game right now, Caleb Williams, but looks like he'll likely be without top wide receiver Jordan Addison, who's opting out for the NFL. Still the 9th-ranked offense, but 82nd in explosive rate. They struggle to make those big plays, and that matters because Tulane has an incredible secondary. 4th-ranked defense against pass explosive plays. Take Tulane and the 2 points you're getting, but also play the Tulane money line because I do think that they pull off the upset here, even though it's a G5 versus P5 matchup. Next up, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, LSU versus Purdue. LSU, a top 10 offense and success rate, but 102nd explosive rate. They move the ball. They don't have those explosive plays, which doesn't look good against a 29th ranked defense success rate here for Purdue. However, they're without their head coach, Jeff Brom, who's moving on to Louisville, and looks like they're likely going to be out without Aiden O'Connell and backup Brady Allen. Braden Allen into the portal, Aiden O'Connell going on to the NFL. LSU's favored by 14.5, which seems too much. I want to take Purdue in the points, but I don't like that. That's my lean, but I'd honestly avoid that in this game. Last but not least, the Rose Bowl, the Mac Daddy of them all. Penn State versus Utah. Penn State, 26th ranked defense and success rate, 18th ranked defense against the pass. Utah comes in with the 6th best pass success rate offense. Strength on strength matchup here. However, Utah loses their stud tight end, Dalton Kincaid. I just don't think Cam Rising has enough against a really good team here in Penn State. Give me Penn State and the points. Give me the money line. Everybody, I hope you had yourself a safe and happy new year. And thank you again for choosing Better Sports Network to bring you all of your college football, NFL, and all your sporting news. Everybody have yourselves a great day and enjoy your bowl games.
Who's in and who's out? You're pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy on Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks for bringing it in with the Front Yard Fantasy crew here on Better Sports Network.
It always gets me.
Yeah, the Chewbacca noise shocks me every time. I forget about it, and then they throw it in there, and I'm reminded of that moment in my life. That's the noise that came out of my mouth when I was instructed to do my best Chewbacca. But here we are. New year. That's my New Year's resolution, is to get better at the Chewbacca impersonation. Impression?
You can do it. Impression.
I'm going to get better at it.
I think our tongue-tiedness rubbed off on our ad read in the middle there with Penn State. Yeah.
Guys,
Shout out Campus to Canton.
Shout out Campus to Canton. They do some awesome work over there, especially now that the fantasy season's ending. Make sure you're heading over there to check out those guys. No guys have been doing more research on the players coming in to the NFL from the guys over there at Campus to Canton. Mm-hmm. Our inactives are starting to roll in. I'm not seeing anything of note yet. Devontae Parker not playing like we expected, and no surprise inactives on the Chiefs. We will keep you guys updated as more of these inactives are released. We've got some questions here in the chat that I wanted to make sure we got to. Mm-hmm. Calvin had a question for us, a tight end question. Wanted to know Tyler Higbee, Baker Mayfield's new best friend, apparently, or Pat Freiermuth. Joey, you going with Tyler Higbee or Pat Freiermuth?
I've got Freiermuth one spot ahead of Higbee. When Kenny Pickett's on the field, I do like Pat Freiermuth. Yeah, I'll go Pat Freiermuth. And
Pat Freiermuth.
I'm really I'm like the internal struggle is going on right now because I do like Higbee today.
JL, where are you going?
I'm gonna go Higbee against the Chargers. Yeah, the tight end here.
Yikes! This one's close. I think I lean Tyler Higbee as well. I have just loved what I've seen between him and Baker Mayfield. And Baker as a new quarterback in that system, his comfort is important, and it seems like Tyler Higbee is providing comfort in that passing game for him. But it's super close.
Do you think that's a factor of Baker just of no one else being left capable on the
Probably.
Rams right now?
Yeah,
Or do you
probably.
think he just likes throwing to Tyler? It's an unanswerable question. We'll never know.
Like he has to pick, like, well, it's Tyler Higbee or nothing. Guess I'll take Tyler Higbee.
Got Van Jefferson right there.
I don't know why. There was a stand-up comedian that I saw at my friend's church in elementary school, and he told a joke where he said he went up to a mustard stand, and the lady told him, you can have mustard or nothing or both. And he said, give me both. I want to see how you pull that one off. And it's been one of my favorite, like, clean stand-up jokes I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, that's funny. Mustard or nothing, baby. Jerry Jeudy, who we were waiting to see if he was active, is active for this game. We're getting that news rolling in here. Ramondre Stevenson also active. We're getting that. And Chris Olave, who there were questions about this week, is active for this week. And Saints fans will be happy to know that Marshawn Lattimore is making his way back into the lineup this week as well.
Yeehaw.
Oh,
Yeehaw! Yeah, so Marshawn Lattimore is back for the Saints this week. We had another question come in here. Gavin wanted to know, with Jared Stidham starting at quarterback, should he sit Devontae Adams in favor of Devonta Smith and Ramondre Stevenson? Would you sit Devontae Adams for?
That is a
Devonta
tough
Smith.
question.
I
Ramondre
liked
Stevenson.
this question 3 minutes ago when I didn't know Lattimore was going to play, and now I'm debating a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna still lean Adams.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna lean Adams over Devontae Smith. I would play Ramondre over Adams though.
I'll agree with you on that, Jail.
Is it close enough that if Marshawn Lattimore wasn't playing, Joey, you might have thrown Devonta Smith in there?
Devonta Smith has looked excellent the last few weeks.
So hot right now.
He is so hot right now, Hansel. So,
Penn
but
State.
it's Adams. Even with Stidham, Adams will be fine today.
Yeah,
Just fine.
I think I'm rolling
elite.
Adams out there as well. And then Gavin wanted to know, or sit Josh Jacobs for Devontae Adams. So if you're starting one of those two, I would start Jacobs over Adams. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm rolling that way as well. Nick's in here saying, or Gavin in here saying, Nick's, I feel you, play the studs. Yeah, sometimes that's your best bet. Roll your best players out there and just say, hope they do what we know they can do. Nick's in here had a question for us, said, T. Higgins, Godwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kendrick Bourne, Romeo Doubs. Pick 3 in full PPR. So those names again, we had T. Higgins, Chris Godwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kendrick Bourne, and Romeo Doubs. Jail, you got to pick 3 of those. Are there any that jump out immediately?
See, Kendrick Bourne is in there, right?
Yes.
So I'm starting T. Higgins out of that group. I'm starting Chris Godwin out of that group. How many do we have to pick?
3.
3. So one more. I think I'd lean Dobbs.
Over Amon-Ra St. Brown? Or did you not see Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I did not see Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah,
Okay,
Amon-Ra St.
there
Brown.
we go. Yeah, I'm with you, JL. It's going to be the top 3 off that list. I understand the temptation to get Dobbs in there, but I'm rolling Higgins, Godwin, and St. Brown. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start Higgins, Godwin, St. Brown, and then go to your favorite DFS site and start Kendrick Bourne. What did I say something wrong again?
You said Higgins.
Higgins.
Higgins. All right. I was trying to sound all smooth. I want you to start T. Higgins, Chris Godwin, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then I want you to go to your favorite DFS website of choice and put Kendrick Bourne and Romeo Doubs in a lineup, because I do love them as streaming options. And we talked about how good their value is this week.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joey. I'm with you. Higgins. They're little. It's T. Higgins, but in a penguin outfit is what a Higgins is.
Higgins
and Jalen Waddle would be a great wide receiver duo.
Oh my God, that would be hot to have both of those guys on the same team. Cactus Jack in here wanted to know Mike Williams, Rashad White, Cam Akers. Which one should I start? Also, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Cactus Jack. That's not the right words that I said right there. Joey, who are you starting? Mike Williams, Rashad White, or Cam Akers?
I'll go Mike Williams. Cactus Jack was a professional wrestler. That's why I went bang, bang. That was his thing.
Bang, bang. I think I'm going Mike Williams here as well. It's tempting to get Cam Akers in there, though.
It is. Cam Akers looked really good last few weeks.
He's got a slam dunk matchup this week. But I think I still roll Mike Williams. What about you, John Luke?
I'm with you guys. Mike Williams for me.
Cam Akers is a close second, though. Brew Crew wanted to know Brady or Mike White PPR championship game. John Luke, Brady or Mike White?
I'm going to lean Brady here, going against Carolina.
Brady against Carolina. Joey, the Bucks fan. Tom Brady is your savior. Are you starting him or are you starting Mike White? Mike MF and White.
So both of the cornerbacks being out for the Panthers today really helps this a little bit for me. It's going to be Tom Brady for me, and not just because I'm a homer at heart. Dope.
Yeah, it's going to be Tom Brady for me as well. But this is way closer than it should be whenever you say Mike White versus Tom Brady. But man, I got to roll Tom Brady out there.
Two
The
goats.
goat.
It's sneaky too because Carolina's been really, really good on defense the last few weeks, but no, it's Brady.
No, I'm with you. I got to roll that way as well. JJ Keats in here said start two. Ramondre Stevenson, Joe Mixon, and Kenneth Walker. JL, you got to start two of those players. Which ones are you plugging in there?
I'm gonna go with Joe Mixon. Lock him in going against Buffalo here. And then I'm gonna go Ramondre Stevenson going against Miami.
I'm with you, JL. Full agreement. What about you, Joey?
100%.
100%. Man, JL, look at you trendsetter.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. It just further evolves every single time.
I've got Ramondre and Joe Mixon, both as top 10 running backs this week. Love both of them as starts.
And so, Joey, you're really not concerned about Damian Harris coming back at all then? I know you said it a couple
I'm not.
times. You think
we've seen Ramondre have great games with Harris in there. I'm sure Harris is going to get a little bit of work, but I mean, it was enough for me to take Ramondre from like my running back 4 to running back 6. Like I moved him down a little bit, but I didn't let it kill his value this week for me.
Beautiful. Team out of nowhere. What's up, team out of nowhere? Said really need help starting my last two flexes for Super Bowl week in PPR. Zach Moss, Isaiah Pacheco, Isaiah Hodgins, or Curtis Samuel. So needs to start two of those players. There's one immediate lock for me, and I think that's Isaiah Pacheco is the one that stands out to me. Is you got to get him in there. Joey, do you agree with Isaiah Pacheco? And who would your second guy be?
I think it's going to be Hodgins. I do agree with Pacheco. One more time with those names, but Hodgins is the one that stuck out.
Zach Moss, Pacheco, Isaiah Hodgins, and Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I would go Hodgins over Samuel.
I'd go Zach Moss here.
Okay.
And I think I'm leaning with Joey. I think I'm going to go Isaiah Hodgins as well. It's a little bit confusing, the wide receiver situation there in New York, but Hodgins has seemed like the preferred target over the past couple of weeks. So I'll take a shot on him there. Austin in here with a question for us. Said, hey guys, you answered my Haskins, Robinson, Swift question Thursday night, and I'm rolling with Robinson like you said. And we love Brian Robinson as a start this week. So now I'm in a pinch with DeAndre Hopkins out. Flex comes down to Dawson Knox, DeAndre Swift, or George Pickens. So Joey, if you're picking between Dawson Knox, DeAndre Swift, and George Pickens, who would you be plugging in?
I'll go Swift. I definitely like him over Dawson Knox. It's a little closer with Pickens. I think I'm just trying to will Pickens into existence for the rest of this season. It's going to be Swift here for me.
John Luke, what about you?
I agree with Joey 100%. Bingo. DeAndre Swift.
Joey 100% bingo. And I agree with you, who agrees with the Joey 100% bingo. It's going to be DeAndre Swift for me as well.
I actually have
those as your options.
It says 100% bingo on the butt.
100% bingo.
I earned a bingo.
But it's all on one cheek. It's not 100% on one cheek, bingo on the other. It's just 100% bingo on one cheek.
If I saw that in the public, I would be so confused and I'd just want answers.
And then on the other cheek, there's a clip art version of the little bingo stamper things. The ink blotters. Andrew in here had a question for us. Said, hey, Andrew, Tyler Algier or Mike Williams, PPR. So John Luke, you rolling with Tyler Algier or Mike Williams?
I'm rolling Mike Williams. PPR format gives him a nice boost there too.
What about you, Joseph?
Yeah, it's really close. I really like Tyler Algier a lot this week against Arizona. It's still Mike Williams, but find a way to get Algier in your lineup. Get back to us on who else you have.
It's going to be Mike Williams for me as well. And Daniel Williams in the BSN chat had a question for us. Wanted to know Cam Akers or Najee Harris for the ship. I think it's Cam Akers. What do you guys think? I think I'm rolling Cam Akers out here. The matchup is juicy, and he's looked great recently. Joey, what are you doing here?
I have been the Cam Akers hater at FYF all season. I'm strong things I've said about him and his former university. Although I'm rolling with him this week. He has looked really good the last few weeks. It's hard to deny what he's been doing. So,
JL,
for
are
your
you going to deny
championship,
what he's been doing?
I hate this. I hate that this is a decision here in week 17 because I want to go Najee Harris so badly. Everything in my body's telling me Najee Harris. I'm going to go Cam Akers, though.
it's strange.
Best of luck to you. You got this. Championship.
You
Go.
got
Bring
it.
it home. Bingo.
Godspeed, Daniel, starting Cam Akers in your fantasy championship. But I think it's a great play. It really does seem like a great play this week. And Better Al in the chat with the Cam flexes, baby. He likes Cam this week. We got Wolf Kid in here asking us Jamal Williams, Zach Moss, Drake London, or Zay Jones start 2. John Luke, who you plugging in for Wolf Kid? 3.
Wolf, let's see. Jamal Williams, Zach Moss, Drake London, or Zay Jones. I think I'm gonna lean Zay Jones. I'm gonna lean Zach Moss.
I kind of want to get Jamal Williams in there in the matchup against Chicago. I know Jamal Williams has not been great this week, but the scoring opportunity should be there for him. I think he gets in the end zone. I'm going to go Jamal Williams and Zay Jones here as my 2 starts, with Jamal Williams over Zach Moss. What about you, Joey?
And I'm not going to be helpful at all. I'm going to say Jamal Williams and Drake London. I apologize, Wolf Kid. But so it sounds like we can let's try to work this out. Jamal Williams do you see him starting? JL, is there a scenario you could start Jamal Williams?
Is there a scenario where I could start Jamal Williams? Yeah.
Jill's like, yeah, one sure. Where they don't have Zach Moss or Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, here's what we'll do. We don't need. We had 2 Zay Jones. We had 2 Jamal Williams, and then there's a fill in the blank for that third right
I'm
there.
fine going to Jamal Williams if you need to. Zach Moss and Jamal Williams are in a similar enough tier. They both have solid matchups, and I think are similar type of usage running backs. And so I'm fine if you want to make that switch.
Okay, and I can get behind Zay Jones. My only concern is that if they get up big, they might sit. But Doug Peterson has assured me personally that this will not happen.
Yeah, he just keeps on telling us over and over and over again. Daniel in here saying, thanks, guys. No problem, Daniel. Thanks for popping in with your question. And everybody watching, if you have questions that you need answered, make sure to throw them in the chat over here. We love answering fantasy questions, and it's what we're here doing until kickoff at 1 p.m. Eastern time on New Year's Day, the first NFL of 2023.
Yeehaw.
How many times am I going to mess up 2023? Like, it messes with me every year. You know how I feel about time zones. Just imagine when the year changes.
You're already batting 1,000. You haven't messed up on the show today, so you've got a good starting point. I believe in you.
Today's
Simon.
The easiest day to remember. The name of the day reminds me. It's New Year's Day, right? Tomorrow's not the second New Year's Day. It's just January 2nd. And then now I got to remember what number comes next. Will in here had a question for us. Said pick 2, Jalen Waddle, Keenan Allen, Drake London. JL, which 2 of those 3 would you be plugging into your lineup?
Give them to me one more time. Keenan Allen, Jalen Waddle, and Drake
London.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Let's go with pick 2. I'm going to go with Waddle and Keenan Allen.
Waddle and Keenan Allen. I think I'm going with Waddle and Keenan Allen as well. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I'm going to bench Drake London.
Drake London hitting the bench. Not that he's a bad play, but Keenan Allen and Jalen Waddle are both great plays. I'm excited to start both of those guys.
London's like a wide receiver 3 territory kind of guy, kind of bottom of that tier, where the other 2 guys are definitely wide receiver 2 at least.
Absolutely. Edward in here had a question for us. Said, choose 1 in full PPR. Kamara, Swift, McKinnon, Waddle, and Jerry Jeudy. So of those names, which one are you guys plugging in PPR? John Luke?
One more time, Jerry Jeudy.
It was Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, Jerick McKinnon, Jalen Waddle, and Jerry Jeudy. Got to play 1.
I think I'm going to lean Alvin Kamara here.
Alvin Kamara. What about you, Joey?
Yes, it's Alvin Kamara. Any other week, there might be a different answer. If Tua was a quarterback, I would probably lean Jalen Waddle here. And I know McKinnon's been great lately, but it's going to be Kamara. Yeah,
it's going to be Kamara for me as well.
Second part.
How can you not get Waddle in your lineup? Like, I want to know who you're starting at wide receiver and in your other flex spots if you have one that Jalen Waddle's not in your lineup, because even with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, I want to be starting him. And now the next part of this question coming in, Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff? Jared Goff. I think this is where the little bit of doubt I have in Doug Peterson makes me go Jared Goff. The chance that they go up by 20 plus points and they need Trevor Lawrence for next week and they put him on the bench, or that they can just run all over this Houston defense and Trevor Lawrence doesn't need to throw a ton to win. I'll take Jared Goff against Detroit. That's where I'm leaning, but man, that hurts. Joey, what are you doing?
Jared Goff has been electric at home this year. 20 touchdowns to 3 interception ratio. I think it was before last week. I love Jared Goff at home. He's going to be a quarterback that I draft a lot of next year because I like taking 2 quarterbacks at the very end of drafts and just kind of playing the matchups. So when Jared Goff's at home, I'm going to play him next year. But for this week, it's definitely Jared Goff.
What about you, John?
I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. Jared Goff against the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. Yeah, it should be a fun game. That's
Go get your
one of the games I'm more excited for this week. I'm so excited for a Bears-Lions game. Should be a fun one. Also, we got some more context in here from Edward. Edward was saying he was starting Godwin and CD at wide receiver. So CD, that's already done. CD's been started, and I would start Godwin over Waddle. So I guess that's why Waddle's on your bench. You got great plays. You got great plays. Dame wanted to know light, medium, or dark roast. John Luke?
Medium.
Joey?
Medium's like the everyday. If I will say I hit the dark roasts a lot when I do my cold brew. So usually cold brew is a nighttime beverage for Joey, and I'm doing it when I do my rankings. So it's all about time dependent. I never do light roast. I'm not a weakling here. And
I don't know. I drink coffee in a cup from restaurants usually, and that's about it. Not a big coffee guy. Peyton here. What's up, Peyton? Said pick 2. Marquise Brown, Greg Dortch, Rashad White, and Tyler Algier, full PPR. Joey, of those 4 options, which 2 are you plugging into your lineup?
The name right before Tyler Algier was Rashad White. Yeah, it's gonna be Tyler Algier for me. Love the matchup for him today. Love the work he's been getting the last few weeks with the Falcons. Tyler Algier.
And we got to get one more in there. If there was a second one, which one would you do?
Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown. John Luke, you agreeing with Joey here? Marquise Brown and Tyler Algier, or would you want one of Dortch or Rashad White in there?
I'm a little tempted by Rashad White here going against Carolina. Marquise Brown dealing with backups here, throwing to him, but still lean Marquise Brown. I think Marquise Brown is probably the most likely to get you points.
Yeah, I'm leaning Marquise Brown and Tyler Algier as well. It's not ideal with David Blau at quarterback, but DeAndre Hopkins being out, maybe more volume, less productive volume. Maybe we see Marquise Brown have an all right week. Jordan in the chat saying, what's going on, boys? Let's go. What's up, Jordan? Welcome in.
Where are we going?
To know, Shaheed, well, we're going to make this decision for him, apparently. Rashid Shaheed or Chuba Hubbard, full point PPR. Championship week, JL. You have to decide Rashid Shaheed or Chuba Hubbard to help you bring home the title. Which one's doing it?
Oh, boy, Jordan. I think I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard.
He had himself a game last week.
I don't expect that again. Not against Tampa Bay.
Joey, what are you doing here?
It would be Hubbard for me. Ugh, I don't like saying that.
Yeah, it's going to be triple Hubbard. Hubbard. Hopefully you can get him in.
Hubbard.
I'm so sorry. Jared wanted to know Njoku, Fant, or Freiermuth. Rank them, please. So, Joey, if you had to put those 3 tight ends in order, what order are you putting them in?
So Njoku, Fant, and Freiermuth. It'd be Freiermuth, Njoku, Fant.
JL, you agreeing?
I would go Freiermuth, Njoku, Fant. Yeah.
And I, to be a little bit different, would go Freiermuth, Njoku, Fant. In that order. So I variated a little bit. Variated, you know the common word that everyone says.
Yes, variated.
Yes, variated, of course. And Will in here said all roasts taste the same with a little bit of Jack. And then I had a question for us. Pick one for my flex, Drake London or Cam Akers. John Luke, who are you plugging in this week?
I had a little bit of Jack last night. A little bit of Jack and Coke. No coffee, though. I should have because I fell asleep. I'm going to go with between Drake London and Cam Akers. I'm going to go Cam Akers.
Cam Akers. What about you, Joey?
Cam Akers.
It's going to be Cam Akers for me as well. I'm excited about this matchup for Cam Akers this week, and he's been looking so good. And then Mako J in here had a question, wanted to know Cole Kmet or Pat Fryermuth at the tight end, and Devonta Smith. We'll start with the tight end question. Cole Kmet or Pat Fryermuth. John Luke, which way you rolling here?
I think I'm going to go Komet in this Detroit-Chicago game. Vegas expecting this to be a high-scoring game. The total set at 52.5 compared to the Pittsburgh-Baltimore games. The total set at 35. So they're not expecting that many points to be scored in that game comparatively. I'll go Komet here.
Joey, what about you?
I agree. It's Komet for me.
This is close. I think I lean Komet as well because of the matchup. I just want pieces from that game. But Fryermuth is a great start. Komet's right where that line is. I think he's the last guy I would start over Pat Fryermuth this week on that list. Back to back. There was one more question in here from Mako. Wanted to know Devonta Smith or Christian Watson at the flex full PPR. So Christian Watson hasn't practiced at all this week. Questionable with that hip. Devonta Smith, we just got the news that Marshawn Lattimore's playing. So it's a tougher matchup for him. John Luke, Smith or Watson?
Give me Devonta Smith. This one isn't that close for me. I'm going to go Smith.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, it's Devonta Smith. You can't take the risk with Watson.
Yeah, it's gonna be Devonta Smith for me as well. If Watson had practiced on Friday, this might be a question, right? Then we could talk about it. But we haven't seen even a snap from him at practice this week. Way too risky. Way too risky. Caden, the Colts fan in here. What's up, Caden, the Colts fan? Wanted to know Minshew or Danny Dimes. John Luke, who you rolling out there? Gardner Minshew or Danny Dimes?
I'll roll with Daniel Jones. I'll roll with Daniel Jones this week. The New Orleans matchup is not bad, but it's not fantastic for Minshew.
What about you, Joey?
Yep. Danny Dimes.
It's not a great matchup for Daniel Jones either going up against Indy. And Gardner Minshew did throw like multiple touchdowns and ran one in last week. I like this Philadelphia offense to score this week, to get it done, to lock up their number one seed. So I think I'm going to roll Gardner Minshew over Daniel Jones here. I liked what I saw from him last week. I feel like the upside's a little bit higher for him, oddly enough, even though he's a week 2 starter here in this Philly offense.
I'm with you. Makes sense.
We're going to get Minshew in there. And then Caden also wanted to know Hodgins or Dortch. So John Luke, Isaiah Hodgins or Greg Dortch?
This is one where I would probably lean Hodgins. Probably lean Hodgins here.
Joey, what about you?
It's going to be Hodgins for me.
And I think I'm going to lean Hodgins here as well. It's scary starting any of those Giants wide receivers, but if you have to start one, is Hodgins the one you guys are most comfortable with?
Slayton, probably.
Slayton over Hodgins? Joey, what about you?
Yes, Slayton over Hodgins. I've got him really close to my rankings, but I really want to make that move on Hodgins because I really like what I've seen, but it's that safety of Slayton just keeps him there.
Also, Caden letting us know going into this championship, they lost Tua Tagovailoa, Derrick Henry, and DeAndre Hopkins. That is brutal. That is a brutal way to start championship week. Be growing stuff in here. Well, hope what you're growing's growing well. Said my lineup is Aaron Rodgers, Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, A.J. Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Darren Waller at the tight end, and Aaron Jones at the flex in the Eagles defense. They've got A.J. Dillon, Isaiah Pacheco, Jahan Dotson, DJ Chark, and Cortland Sutton on the bench. Would you make any changes? Joey, I have a feeling maybe in that flex spot with Aaron Jones sitting there, would you want to start one of Pacheco, Dillon, or Dotson over Aaron Jones?
It would be Dillon if I were to start somebody, but I still have Aaron Jones ranked higher. I mean, this Minnesota-Green Bay game is going to be a lot of points. Is that the Sunday night game tonight, by the way?
It is a Sunday afternoon game.
Oh, Sunday afternoon. That should be the Sunday night.
Steelers-Ravens is the Sunday night game.
Yeah, got flex.
Well, I get to hang out with my wife, I guess. I'm going to watch the football game because that's my job. Yeah, it's that. No, I'm going to keep Aaron Jones in there.
What about you, John Luke?
Yeah. I'm also interested by AJ Dillon, throwing AJ Dillon in there. I'd say pick whoever your gut says, AJ Dillon or Aaron Jones.
I'll roll Aaron Jones. I'm not making any changes to that lineup, be growing stuff. That's where I'm rolling, but it is close between him and Pacheco and Dillon for that last.
Knowing Jerry Jeudy is in has me move away from Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton, I would really be thinking about putting in there, but Judy's playing, so
that makes sense. Guys, coming up, we are going to continue answering your questions leading up until week 17 kickoff, helping you get ready for your championship matchups this week. Right now, you're watching Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network.
The Baltimore Ravens will win the AFC North 2023, baby.
Sophomore quarterback Cade Klubnik of the Clemson Tigers will come out and win the Heisman, leading Clemson to another national championship.
It's been a difficult time here in Boston for us Boston sports fans. We haven't had a parade in a couple of years, you know? So I think it's time for the Boston Bruins to bring it home.
I think the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes will win the Super Bowl.
I think the New York Mets are going to win the World Series in 2023.
People will remember just how good Shohei Ohtani is. Elite as a hitter, elite as a pitcher. He will win the MVP award like he should have in 2022.
I will go with a Super Bowl prediction. Give me San Francisco against Buffalo.
I think in 2023 is going to be the year of Luis Robert. That guy's uber talented. He had a very old school coach who I don't think he clicked with. He was hurt a lot. I don't know if he's going to go Judge. I think maybe he'll go Yordan Alvarez, but I think Luis Robert is going to be the guy next year.
The Boston Celtics will win the NBA championship in 2023.
The NBA to me is wide open this year. There are a few teams that can win the championship, but I am going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Luka Doncic, like he deserves it, should win MVP in 2023.
UGA is inviting everybody to the Bulldog Invitational, and they're going to get a three-peat.
Tom Brady will not retire.
I think we're going to roll back to 1969, where one of the New York teams, whether it's Mets or Jets, wins a championship.
I am going to make a ton of money in 2023. That is my sports prediction.
I'm going to say the New York Metropolitans will make it to at least the NLCS.
2023, it will be Chase Dollander from the Tennessee Volunteers being the #1 overall pick to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Baylor Bears will cut down
Kyle McCord wins the Heisman for the Ohio State Buckeyes season into the playoffs and wins a national championship.
A healthy Paul George lead the way as the Clippers make it to
Bijan Robinson will be the runaway #1 overall running back in fantasy.
Pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy on Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back into Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on BSN. It is week 17, and we're here helping you guys get ready for your fantasy football championships. Some injury news, got to make sure everyone's up to date on. If you don't know about this yet, check for these players in your lineups. A couple big name quarterbacks are not playing here in week 17. Jalen Hurts is officially out this week. Gardner Minshew going to be making the start. Kyler Murray still in the IR, but Colt McCoy also injured. So David Blau is going to be starting in Arizona. Lamar Jackson not playing this week as well, meaning Tyler Huntley is starting there in Baltimore. And Tua Tagovailoa also not playing this week, which means Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the starting quarterback for Miami going up against New England this week. But on a unpredictably, indescribably warm weather day in Boston in December. So maybe it helps the Dolphins out a little bit there, facing off against New England. DeAndre Hopkins is out this week as well. So if you're relying on him, unfortunately, you're not going to get any D-Hop in week 17 either. But Chris Olave is active for the Saints. So Chris Olave, who was questionable, we are going to see him back in action, as well as Marshawn Lattimore suiting up for the Saints for the first time in a while. He's been out with an injury. We had some more questions come in here, guys, that I wanted to make sure we got to help people out in the championship week. Mako said, last one I got for you guys. Oh, I hope not. I hope you got a couple more. So Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones? Joey, you rolling out Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones this week? Both kind of banged up.
Yeah, it'll be Aaron Jones for me. Actually, I have Kenneth Walker one spot ahead. I'm still going to Aaron Jones. The matchup for Aaron Jones is really great this week against Minnesota. Probably the best matchup you can have, period, in fantasy football right now.
John Luke, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to go Kenneth Walker. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker on this one. What do you think, Simon?
I'm going to go Aaron Jones. I'm with Joey here. They're both banged up. I want pieces from that matchup. Aaron Jones, especially being the receiving work back there. Minnesota not so great at defending against receiving backs this year. I got to get Aaron Jones in there if I can. But I am concerned about him being a bit banged up. Unfortunately, your other option also is a bit banged up. And Damien, you're saying someone knows what Joey loves on a Sunday morning. Yeah, players back-to-back in his rankings. It's his favorite. We got Preston Bourgeois in here saying pick 2, 1 flex and 1 wide receiver. Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers, DJ Chark, Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, and Cam Akers. John Luke, 1 flex, 1 wide receiver. Who are you starting out of that bunch?
1 flex, 1 wide receiver. I'm gonna go with we'll go with Jerry Jeudy, and I'm gonna go with Cam Akers.
Jerry Jeudy and Cam Akers for JL. What about you, Joey?
Yes, Jerry Jeudy and Cam Akers. Good job, JL. We agree. I love it when we agree.
It's fancy when you guys agree. You guys think you're so cool, agreeing and everything all over the place?
Agree with us, Simon?
Yeah, I'm fully agreeing with you guys. It's Jerry Jeudy and Cam Akers for me as well.
So,
Jerry Jeudy is
there.
What's up, Joe?
I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about Jerry Jeudy or Cam Akers in PPR?
Cam Akers. Give me Cam Akers.
It's a little safer. I like the matchup for Jeudy, but Cam Akers.
Oh, I have Jerry Jeudy in right now in my championship. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on whether it's
Joe, I get that. I was staring at Cam Akers all week, or not all week, since like Wednesday night when I realized I was in another championship matchup. But it was Cam Akers and DJ Moore. And I know that's not even as close as Cam Akers or Jerry Jeudy. And I've got Cam Akers in there, but it didn't feel good. It did not feel good to make that switch up from like a wide receiver that I love the talent of versus Cam Akers, who I've just been poo-pooing on over and over and over again.
Yeah, we'll see. Before the end of the show, I might switch it. We'll see.
Thanks for the question, Preston Bourgeois. Appreciate it. We got Strong Style Ninja in here saying good luck to everyone in their championships. Get those titles. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Strong Style Ninja. Bring it in Strong Style Ninja. Alex in here had a question for us. Christian Kirk, Kenneth Walker, or Najee? Pick 2 in PPR. So, Joey, between Christian Kirk, Kenneth Walker, and Najee Harris, which 2 are you plugging in?
Christian Kirk, and it was Najee and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker.
John Luke, are you agreeing with Joey here?
Benji Najee?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, Najee's going to hit the bench for me as well. Another triple agree. Christian Kirk and Kenneth Walker as my 2 starts. Will in here said, I got a 2-parter. Said, my opponent doesn't know that he has Josh Jacobs going against his own defense, the 49ers. How much will that benefit me? So this is more of a fantasy football theory question. John Luke, how do you feel about starting the defense against one of your like star players, like a player you're expecting to be pivotal in winning you a championship?
I think it does benefit you. It does because what he's doing is taking 2 different strategies here. And because of that, if one succeeds, the other one is not going to succeed. Now, you could look at this as hedging, like he's hedging a bit. One of these 2 sides might do well, in which case he's going to have either side of it, but it doesn't really work that well with defenses, in my opinion. So I think you're benefiting from this oversight on his part, his or her part. And then what can we speak? I think RB2 numbers. I think RB2 numbers, high-end RB2 numbers is what I'm expecting from Josh Jacobs against a stout San Francisco defense.
Yeah, I'm with you, JL. I'm with you. It does nothing but hedge. That's exactly what this is. I like to pick a strategy and go all in, have one thing that needs to happen, and either all your pieces fall into place or they don't. And this guy, that's not going to be possible. So it benefits you a bit. benefits you a bit here. And Josh Jacobs, 100% Joe. You lower your expectations, but you're still starting him in most cases because he's Josh freaking Jacobs. Joey, what do you think here?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
You starting Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
What's up? I saw you throw that up.
Yeah, I do my rankings with Fantasy Pros, and so I'm taking players that are out of my rankings and whatnot. And I saw a really interesting inactive, and that was Justin Jackson. He's been kind of pulling work away from both DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams today, so that makes me like them both a lot more today.
Yeah, Justin Jackson. It has been a bit of like a three-headed monster there in Detroit over the past couple of weeks. We thought maybe we'd get some more clarity with Swift coming back fully healthy, but instead it just got a bit murkier over there. We had some more questions come in here. This one from Eddie said, need a flex in full PPR. DeAndre Swift, Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, or Zach Moss. John Luke, of those four players, which one are you putting in your flex spot?
Just picking one of them?
Just picking one of them.
In that case, I'm going to lean DeAndre Swift going against Chicago.
Joey, are you agreeing here?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm liking Swift even more now with Justin Jackson out for the day.
Yeah, I'm rolling DeAndre Swift here as well. Christian Kirk is tempting to get Christian Kirk in there, but I'll roll DeAndre Swift out there. Matchup's just a little bit juicier whenever Jacksonville could potentially just run all over the Houston Texans. Lucius in here said, I'm getting a bit nitpicky here. It's championship week. You got to get nitpicky.
Got it.
Would you go Tyler Bass or Graham Gano? Can't believe I'm asking kicker questions. JL, which kicker are you starting?
I'm going to start Tyler Bass out of the two of these guys, and it comes down to the offense. The Buffalo Bills offense, I expect to score more in this game, and Vegas is agreeing with me. Total in this game is 49.5 compared to the New York Giants versus Indianapolis Colts. The total is 39. And so I think more points will be scored this one, giving more opportunities to kick. It's going to be Tyler Bass.
Joe, you agreeing here?
JL is right on mark with my kicker analysis. Like, I look at what the implied point totals are outside of like the sure thing kickers. So yeah,
it's going to be a triple Tyler Bass here. Get him in there. And then Lucius also going to say, by the way, Patriots seem to have a few corners out this week, so could benefit Teddy Bridgewater a bit, which segues us into Nix's question. Wants to know Teddy Bridgewater or Kenny Pickett. They have Mahomes in their lineup and need a second QB, and they lost Kyler Murray. So hunting around for that second quarterback, and the options are Bridgewater or Pickett. John Luke, which way are you rolling here?
I'm going to lean Bridgewater against this. They both have pretty tough matchups here, New England and Baltimore. But Teddy Bridgewater in the system, I think he's going to do better, and he has more experience. We've seen more from Teddy Bridgewater than we have Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has just not been scoring touchdowns.
I think he's allergic to throwing touchdowns. I'm rolling Teddy Bridgewater as well. What about you, Joey?
I can't wait to see what Mike McDaniel does with Teddy Bridgewater today. That guy is really sneaky. So I think he's going to use Teddy in some really fun ways today, and I want a part of that on my team.
Let's do it. Fire up your Teddies. Get Teddy Bridgewater.
Whoa, okay.
Teddy Bridgewater's Joey.
Oh, okay.
Dame wants to know, are we playing DJ Moore over either Fournette, Walker, or Brian Robinson? John Luke, would you be playing DJ Moore over Leonard Fournette, Kenneth Walker, or Brian Robinson?
No, I wouldn't be.
Joey, what about you?
I want to, but I'm not going to.
It's close. He's not far behind.
Who's the one that it's closest with you?
Brian Robinson.
I think it's Leonard Fournette for me that he's closest with. Just being unsure exactly how that backfield breaks down. I know Lenny's looked like he's maybe taken over as the starting back again, but it's close. I think I'm still rolling Fournette out there. DJ Moore staying on my bench. What about you, Joey?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to put DJ Moore in, and I agree with you with Lenny. It's just every week I think I have this Bucs run game figured out, and every week I feel like I'm a little bit wrong. Not really wrong, but just like but they're still going to let Lenny be involved a little bit. I wouldn't be shocked this week Lenny doesn't get anything at all. He's going to, but just the way that they've been fluctuating so much. I know I don't want it to happen. For a while I thought they were saving Lenny for the playoffs, but it looks like they're needing to use him to get into the playoffs. It's so sad.
Wild.
That division's
Wild.
so bad.
That division's just abysmal. Nick's is saying, thanks, guys. Thank you for coming in and hanging with us this morning. We had a question from Jay in here. Jay wanted to know Algier or Walker. So is Walker even playing? So, Joe, are you starting Tyler Algier, Kenneth Walker, and are you concerned about Walker's health?
I'm starting out Tyler Algier over Kenneth Walker. I'm concerned about Walker's little health a little bit, but really it's a Tyler Algier. I like the matchup a lot more. Did I do it again?
You
His
just
little
said his
health a
little
little
health.
bit. We are worried about his little health a little bit.
Yeah.
Dale, are
He's
you
got-
worried about his little health a little bit enough to start Algier over him?
Yeah, it is close. I think I'm still gonna lean Kenneth Walker, but I can understand why you want to avert that risk.
I'll roll Tyler Algier. It's a great matchup. You don't have to worry about the injury. Looks like he's taking control of this backfield. I'll get Tyler
Why don't you
Algier out
guys
there.
go get married, huh?
Okay.
And
I
I'll
knew
be the
this was
best
gonna
man.
happen.
I'll meet you in Vegas. We'll get an Elvis impersonator to do it. Impressionist?
Tim.
It's Tim. We didn't even know that he does it, but on the weekends, that's what Tim's doing every weekend.
We walk in like, oh my gosh.
Hey,
Hey guys. Yeah.
We had another question in here from Alex. Alex wanted to know Deontay Johnson, Brandon Ayuk, or Jacoby Myers. Pick two in full PPR. So, John Luke, you got to pick two of those three names. Which ones are you rolling with?
You pick this time, Simon.
Okay, fine. I'll pick. It's Deontay Johnson and Brandon Ayuk for me. Jacoby Myers is going to be hitting the bench. What do you think, Joey?
I would start Jacoby Myers over Brandon Cooks. I do not agree with you, Simon. I don't know what you're thinking. Does that
What
make you feel
about
better,
Brandon?
Jam?
What about Brandon Ayuk though?
He's not even in this question.
Brandon Cooks wasn't in the question.
No, he was not.
I just wanted to disagree with Simon. Yeah, Ayuk. It's gonna be Ayuk. Yeah.
That's what we thought. That's what I
Yes.
thought.
Sorry.
And I will tack on to this trio and say Brandon Ayuk and Deontay Johnson.
We got it. Also, Strong Style Ninja said, I'll be the flower boy dropping flower petals with swag up and down the aisle.
Let's go.
We got an event rolling here.
It's probably too much information, but like one of us on stream is going to be getting married soon. And I've been really kind of pushing for the flower guy with the little fanny pack of the rose petals to throw out the wedding. It's not going to happen, but saying I'm available.
Well, the problem, Joey, is they already got the outfit, so you would have to squeeze into it because they got it in a much smaller size, meant for like a 4-year-old. So if you can fit in it, I think it's yours.
There's only one to find out.
Let's get that outfit to Joey.
Start some intermittent fasting.
Greg had a question in here. Said, "Hey guys, what's up, Greg?
Hey,
London, Pittman, or Dortch for my wide receiver 3? So Drake London, Michael Pittman, or Greg Dortch. What are you doing here, Joey?"
I think I'm going to go London here. I'm kind of scared off with Pittman with what we saw from Foles last week. London feels like the safest option. If you need a home run, though, you probably want to go with Pittman.
John Luke, what do you think here?
We're just picking one.
Just one.
I think I'll go London.
It'd been great if you went Dortch, like the one that I didn't say.
The Dortch.
Man, it's close between London and Pittman here for me, but I think I roll London with you guys as well. It does feel a bit safer. It was nasty what we saw from Nick Foles for Michael Pittman last week, like Joey said. So I'll get Drake London in there. We're agreeing a little bit too much. Maybe let's fight on this next one. Greg also said, I had Schultz on the bench for Goddard already, so I need all the points I can get. That hurts having Schultz on the bench. I'm sorry, Greg. Cassius Stylist in here said McLaurin or Brandon Cooks. So Joey, here's a Brandon Cooks question for you, Joey. You starting Terry McLaurin or Brandon Cooks?
Terry McLaurin. I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
It's Terry McLaurin for me as well.
McLaurin too.
And I feel like Joey's about to sneeze.
I feel the tickle.
Do it. Coward.
This is the worst. This is literally my hell. Like I would be boiling over in rage right now if you had done that to me. God, Joey, I'm thrown off for you. And then Wilson, thanks for the help, guys. Wish me luck. I'm going for my second championship in my third straight finals.
Get that
Bring
championship
home, baby. EJ Music in here. What's up, EJ? Said 1 week champ final, full PPR. Tua is out. Do I start Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, or Geno Smith? John Luke, of those three quarterbacks, who are you plugging in?
Ooh, Minshew, Smith, and what was the other one?
Bridgewater.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I feel like the real conversation here is Geno Smith or Gardner Minshew. I think I'm gonna lean Minshew. The Jets defense has been good.
I'm with you. It's going to be Minshew for me as well, though it's not like the New Orleans defense is a slouch. I just liked what I saw last week. And it was a tough defense he played against last week in Dallas. So I'll roll Minshew out there. What about you, Joey?
Jets are traveling cross country to play Seattle. I'm going to go with Geno Smith here. Geno's been really good at home this year.
It's close.
Gino.
It's close.
So you guys
and then,
are dumb. Well, you said you want to fight on it. Your glasses look stupid. There.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's my New Year's resolution to look
I like
dumber.
your glasses, Joe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
EJ also wanted to know, start the Rams defense or the Jags defense? And Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, EJ.
Happy New Year's.
Joey, which defense are you starting? Rams D or Jags D?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I really like the Jaguars defense this week against Houston. It's going to be the Jags defense for me.
Yep, I'm with Joey.
Make it a triple Jags defense right here. Look at the Jags out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andrew McGrady in here. What's up, Andrew? Wanted to know Chris Olave, AJ Dillon, or Cam Akers in full PPR. Joey, who are you starting here?
It's Chris Olave,
AJ Dillon, and Cam Akers.
Oh, I'm going to go Cam Akers. Getting me to say start Cam Akers. This is great. What a day.
Yeah, I'm going to roll Cam Akers out there as well. I feel like we smirk every time we say it because we don't want to say Cam Akers, but he's a great play. Jail, you doing it?
Doing it. Cam Akers. Every time you guys mention him, I'm reminded of my start-sit decision that I have to make.
I see NKC in here saying hi. What's up, NKC? And he said, where's the other guy? NKC joined us on our FYF morning show where Andrew Cooper is the third co-host. But here on Sunday mornings, Joey Wright is up here with us, another member of the Front Yard family.
Yeah. NKC, it's great to meet you. Listen, I manage all the YouTube comments for Front Yard Fantasy, and thank you for all your comments. I'm the one that responds to them every time, and I love seeing your name in there. So welcome. Like my favorite new face. That's always good comments, like never negative, always positive. So welcome.
MVP.
You've been friends with Joey and you didn't even know it. He's the other guy. There we got Joey right there. We had some more questions come in here. Guys, official Rick Ross had a question, said one flex spot in PPR.
Big fan of your music.
Yeah. And
you're
I also
in
like
AEW wrestling. He's a wrestling manager.
Well,
right
Rick
now.
Ross wants to know Jahan Dotson. That is wild. Terry McLaurin, AJ Dillon, J.K. Dobbins, or Devin Singletary. JL, you got to start one of those players. Who's it going to be?
Just one?
Just one.
Oh, Mr. Rick Ross. You got to go Terry McLaurin here. Terry McLaurin going up against Cleveland. It's the main guy in that offense. I'm going him.
What about you, Joey?
Yeah, it's Terry McLaurin for me.
No J.K. Dobbins love? Because I'm going Terry McLaurin as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be Terry McLaurin for me here.
Rick Ross?
Yep. Mako had a question for us. Wanted to know Jaguars or Pats defense. So, Joey, you still starting Jags over the Pats?
Yeah, we answered this earlier. And I'll still stick with Jaguars. Absolutely.
Yep, I'm with you.
And Mako adding, I dropped the Denver defense after that 51-point choke since they almost sold me out the last round before the championship. Do you guys have any confidence in that Denver defense who's been pretty good all year, but not so good recently? Like, if that's your defense, are you dropping them and looking for another option?
Yeah.
They're playing a decent team today. They have an okay quarterback. I would drop them. Yeah.
Kansas City.
Kansas Kitty. Meow, meow.
Kansas Kitty. Kansas Kitty. Damn it. Kansas Kitty scores on everybody. So Denver, yeah, you can't play them this week.
Yeah, not against Kansas Kitty.
Kansas Kitty.
You just can't start Denver against them. And Strong Style Ninja saying the Jags are underrated, may get better next year. I'm with you.
I don't know which talking head was on TV talking about how the Jags are clicking like the Bengals were last year. I'm buying into it. I think the Jags could make a really good playoff run if they win that division next week.
Oh, I hope.
Joey, I heard that one time and have been like, yep, I'm in. Like, yep,
I think I heard it one time too. And I'm like, yep.
You convinced me. I am fully convinced on that narrative now. We are all aboard the Jags hype train for this playoff run is where I'm sitting. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch them in the playoffs. We got Better Al in the chat saying, Rick Ross. What's up,
Ross?
We had some more questions in here, guys. This one coming in from Greg Gregg. Well, Greg Gregg was just letting us know London was where he was leaning anyways. Appreciates us being here. Happy New Year. We appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. Happy New Year to you as well.
You say that name so well, Simon. Every single time I think about how I would say it, and I know I'd mess it up.
Greg Gregg?
Greg.
You're doing great.
I did it.
You did a pretty good job.
I did fantastic. Never mind.
And Frank.
VM in here had a question for us. Devontae Adams or Jerry Jeudy? So Devontae Adams with Jared Stidham. Are you downgrading enough to start Jerry Jeudy, Joey?
No,
Joey.
I'm not. I'm not gonna get that cute. But I want to get cute. But no, it's gonna be Devontae Adams. Man, that's a good question. No.
What about you, Joe?
I lean Devontae Adams here. It is very close. Jerry Jeudy, I think could have a good game. I think could have a good game. This game against, we were just talking about Kansas Skitty here. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think the over will hit on this 45-point over under. So Jerry Jeudy might have an interesting game, but I will lean Devontae Adams.
I would not be able to live with myself if I was you and Devontae Adams was on my bench and blew up during the fantasy football championships and I started Jerry Jeudy instead. Like, I would be much more capable of handling the Jerry Jeudy blowing up on my bench. Devontae Adams, he's arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. You got to get him in your lineup. Even with Jared Stidham at quarterback, dude's going to get it done. He's going to get it done in here. Maria in here saying, Coop, who? Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Joe, you ever heard of him?
You know what? Coop and I had this rivalry going at the beginning of the BSN broadcast, at the beginning of the season. We're like, yeah, we're going to play it up. But he's so damn supportive of everything that I do. So I like Coop a lot. Coop's awesome.
He won you over.
Why was I just so nice to him? I know. I'm not going to fight him. He's smart.
Jacob had a question in here for us. Said pick one in PPR: Zay Jones, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, or Jahan Dotson. Joey, you got to pick one of those players. Who's it going to be?
I'm kind of leaning Cortland Sutton. I want you to go through the names one more time.
Zay Jones, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Jahan Dotson.
I am going to go Cortland Sutton. If Denver's going to want to win this game today, they're going to have to go through the air because Kansas City is going to put up points. So, yeah, Cortland Sutton for me.
John Luke, you agree in here?
Nope. I'm going to go Zay Jones going against Houston.
This one's close for me. This one's close. Man, I think I lean Zay Jones as well. Just what he can do in that offense.
Yeah, I just looked at my rankings. I've got Jacoby Myers above all of these guys.
Are you switching that, or are you still starting?
No,
you still starting Cortland Sutton over him?
No, I'll still start Cortland Sutton.
Jacoby Myers. It's just not an exciting play, right? It never feels exciting to plug Jacoby Myers into your lineup. No. It feels like, okay, I guess there's nothing better.
Here's my turkey sandwich.
Yep, here's my plain rice with no butter or salt or cheese or anything. Just sitting there in a bowl looking at me. Strong Style had a question for us. Well, it said the Jags are underrated, make it better next year. And I read that, and I agree. And we talked about it a bit already, and now I'm reading it again. So we should probably move on to a different comment instead. Richard had a question for us. It choose two: Cam Akers, Christian Watson, Leonard Fournette. So Christian Watson potentially not playing, questionable, game time decision. Joey, which way are you leaning here?
It'll be Akers and Fournette for me. I'm not going to take the risk with Watson. Will he know by the time the game rolls around? Let's see. I think he will know. I'll still go Akers and Fournette. No chance of re-injury. Yeah, I like both these options this week.
Yeah, I'm not even going to play that game. I'm just going to go Akers and Fournette.
I get it, though. I get the temptation. In the matchup against Minnesota, a potential shootout, like the best defense to start your wide receivers against, a guy who's had multi-touchdown games multiple times this season. Like, I understand sitting there and wanting to get Christian Watson in, but it's just too risky. I can't take that risk in championship week that he doesn't play or that he's a decoy out there, that we only get a couple snaps from him. Too risky, my friend. Kevin said half PPR, Travis Etienne or Garrett Wilson. John Luke, you getting Etienne in there? Or you getting Garrett Wilson in there?
I'm getting Etienne in there. This Houston matchup is the best matchup for running backs. I know that it's scary starting Travis Etienne in a game like this where it doesn't matter so much for Jacksonville. I still think they're going to start Travis Etienne. I still think he's going to get opportunities. I think he's the play over Garrett Wilson.
Joey, what about you?
It's Etienne season.
Etienne season. Yeah, I'm getting Etienne in there as well. And we've talked about it a couple times, Guy, how this game maybe doesn't matter for Jacksonville and that there were rumors that they may rest their players. Doug Peterson has been adamant, though, that he is not resting players in this game. And, Joe, you brought it up earlier. It is not an entirely meaningless game for Jacksonville. If they win this game, there are scenarios that play out where this affects them getting that last wild card spot. So even if winning this game only adds a 5% chance to them making the playoffs if they lose next week, it's 5% they didn't have before, and NFL teams will take any edge they can whenever it comes to getting into the playoffs.
It's so strange how like this game for both the Titans and for the Jaguars, it's just such a non-factor this week for that division. It's so weird that
it is bizarre how that math played out, or whatever it is that decides that.
Max dumb.
Math pretty cool sometimes, pretty dumb other times. Max had a question for us, said Isaiah Pacheco, J.K. Dobbins, or Dallas Goedert in full PPR. John Luke, which of those three are you plugging in?
Full PPR, I'm going Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going Isaiah Pacheco out of this group.
Joe, you agreeing?
Isaiah Pacheco.
You guys worried about the matchup at all versus Denver?
Not after last week.
Yeah. No, not so much.
No, that kind of took the fear of that Denver matchup out of me. Now, between the two Kansas City backs, do you guys prefer Pacheco or McKinnon? Because McKinnon's been killing it lately. Is it still McKinnon?
It is. I said last week that I think this might be a game where you see Pacheco get a little bit more work to try to get the kid going before the playoffs. I think that narrative's gone. I think McKinnon has shown he's the RB1 in this offense. But this offense can support two running backs.
I'm with you. I'm with Joey.
Every step of the way he was on that one.
Tim has been just waiting for this Jerick McKinnon breakout for like 5 years now.
He's had it a couple times.
Yeah.
San Francisco,
This one's the real one,
Minnesota. Remember when he was on Minnesota?
I do. I think that's when Tim bought in. I think that was when Tim was like, this is the moment. Jerick McKinnon on the Vikings. This is when he breaks out. Nixa had a question for us, wanted to know the Philly defense or the Giants defense this week. Joey, which way you rolling, Philly or NYG?
It's still going to be Philly. I do like the Giants. Playing the Giants defense is part of my. I was almost a slip, but I recovered in DFS this week.
You say Giants?
Did I say Giants? Oh man, that's
sounds like
Giant
a Pokemon
Princess Diana team.
Oh man, I want to play Pokemon so bad.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Maria,
bring me my Switch.
Switch.
You just Mona Lisa, Switch, please.
Switch, or like Star Jedi it. Just wait until it comes flying through my door.
I upgraded my Switch Online to like the premier tier where you get the N64 games.
Ooh.
And I played the little Pokemon game with the little things that fall. I was playing that one, but I don't think that's the one you guys are talking about.
Pokemon Puzzle Quest or something along those lines. Yeah, I won
the easy campaign.
That is a fun game. You're playing a good one, Joey. It's not the normal storyline games, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Varun had a question in here for us. What's up, Varun? Welcome in. Wanted to know PPR.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got it. It's Pokemon time. Was it the Force or was it Maria?
It was the Force Maria.
Should we all pull our switches out on stream? Show everybody our switches.
Yeah, we should all pull our switches out on stream. Right. Mine's got a little bit of drift right now. The joystick.
Oh no.
I know. I got to send it in to be repaired.
I'm missing a Joy-Con. So
Varun wanted to know Jerick McKinnon or Tyler Algier in full PPR. Joey, which way you rolling here?
Jerick McKinnon or Tyler Algier? I have been the Tyler Algier guy today, and I'm not going to change my stance on that. I really love Tyler Algier. I love Algier this week.
Algier.
I'm switching. I'm going Jerick McKinnon.
Yes, I don't even like Tyler Algier.
Oh wait, we don't need more shows to do an animal noise bet. I was going to say we should make a bet on this one.
We can post them on Twitter.
Or come on the morning show.
That's 100%. Yeah,
I'll come on the morning show.
Okay, so will I. We want to do a bet here?
Yeah.
Animal noise bet.
So who are you taking, Simon?
Half PPR or PPR?
Happy.
Give me Tyler Algier. I'll be with Joey on this one. Yeah, I'm going to take the Tyler Algier side of this. They are back to freaking back, though, those two guys. But I just want one more animal noise bet of pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy. So full PPR, is that what we're doing, or half PPR?
Either one.
Joey?
I'll go half PPR. That way we kind of go down the middle.
Okay.
And I'll pay it off on Wednesday's show.
There we go.
I got both my kids home with me tomorrow. Thanks, Volusia County Schools. So I won't be able to come on the morning show tomorrow morning.
Half PPR, Tyler Algier versus Jarek McKinnon bet. Jail's on the McKinnon side. Joey and I on the Tyler Algier side. We will see how that pays off this week.
You're going down, Dinguses.
Yeehaw! Salmon here had a question for us. Wanted to know Mike Williams, Chris Olave, or Jerry Jeudy. Pick one full PPR. I'm going Mike Williams here. Getting Mike Williams in the lineup. You agreeing, Joey?
Mike Williams.
In your creamsicle hat. JL, with your lack of a creamsicle hat. Are you
Right
going
there in your creamsicle?
You don't like that. It's a popsicle.
I'm going Mike Williams.
We got a triple Mike. And then Brian wanted to know flex PPR, Bam Knight, Isaiah Hodgins. Which one are you putting in your flex spot, John Luke?
Ooh, Isaiah Hodgins or Bam Knight. We just talked about Jets going against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna go Zonovan Knight.
What about you, Joey?
Yes, Seattle's dreadful against the run. Even though they are at home, I'll still go Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, it's going to be Zonovan Knight for me as well. I am concerned about him splitting with Michael Carter or Michael Carter being more involved, but the matchup's too good, and Isaiah Hodgins is in a crowded wide receiver room as well with a complete lack of clarity on who the top dude is over there. We got no idea. Also, Sam and you're saying cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming in, Sam. Cheers.
Love these questions.
Are
Great
you guys
questions.
Are you guys a toast giver or not toast giver whenever you cheers? Like if everyone's sitting at a table, are you one to stand up and make a toast?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I could have guessed that. Joey, what about you?
Oh, you know I love talking. Like
Joey's like, oh, I'm going to give one hell of a toast. I've been
I want to
prepping it
say
for 2
something
years.
emotional about something at some point. Yeah.
What's your move to get the toast going? You stand up. Do you clink the glass?
Well, see, the clinking at glasses is a little confusing at weddings because that's like the move to get the bride and the groom to kiss. So I usually just stand up and go, "Ugh!" and then I'll hold my glass. And I'll
If you
give a
shatter
toast.
the glass on the ground, there's no confusion and everyone looks at you.
It depends kind of wedding I'm at.
I just wanted to say a few words.
You take your
Even if
full
I've never
plate of
gone to
dinner
the
with
people.
all the food on it and just shatter it over your head. Everyone looks at you like, yes, thank you so much for having me here. There were just a couple things I wanted to say.
Many blessings to the bride and groom.
First of all, thank you for this beautiful meal. It felt delicious.
It felt delicious.
Have you guys ever been to a wedding where every table gives a toast? Has to give up and say something. That's when it's awkward because it's a lot of people trying to top each other. Yeah, you shouldn't do that at your wedding, Jail. It's not good.
Do it.
Plan on it.
You should make every single person have to do it. Pass the microphone around it. Open mic wedding toast. Brian had
inevitably get a drunk person that just is like, oh my God, please sit down. Okay. Go on.
Brian had a second question for us. Wanted to know the Baltimore defense or the Philly defense this week. John Luke, which D are you rolling out there?
Well, is Broncos or Phillies?
No, it's Baltimore or Philly.
Oh, Baltimore or Philly. Ooh. I'm gonna go Philadelphia still.
Yeah, it's Philly against New Orleans for me as well. You too, Joey?
Philly.
There aren't a ton of defenses I'm starting over Philly this week. Like they're a great defense, and I'm not too scared off by the New Orleans matchup. Would you guys start the 49ers defense against Las Vegas with Jared Stidham over the Philly defense this week?
That I would, yes.
Yeah.
I think I would as well. What about Kansas City going against Denver?
No, Kansas City.
That's really, I'm not sure there's another defense I'm starting over the Eagles. I think it's just the 49ers then. The Cowboys were up there going against Tennessee, but they already played. We already saw that game happen.
We
so
did.
I think it's the second defense this week with the Cowboys having already played.
Yeah.
That was an interesting game to watch. That was an interesting game to watch. Maria in here said, after the show, Jail, we should talk about those wedding invites.
At first, I thought it was because JL was like slacking on the wedding invites, and then I realized, oh wait, she's talking about me.
Also, Brian said, appreciate it, boys. No problem, Brian.
No
Thanks
problem,
for coming in
Appreciate
with your
you,
questions.
Brian. Great question. And 2-3 in here said, no fantasy questions, but happy New Year's. Love the show. It is awesome. We love you, 2-3. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, 2-3. We really appreciate you guys coming in.
Guys, I don't know what to do about this Cam Akers Jared Jeudy decision. I'm just going back and forth and I'm panicking. We got 20 minutes till kickoff. These guys, both of them kick off one kicks off at 1, Jared Jeudy, and Cam Akers kicks off at 4:25. What should I do?
Let's talk them through it. So I'm going to stick with the Cam Akers side. And JL, know that I've been against Cam Akers all year. So me saying it means that I really don't want to say it. And listen, playing in Kansas City is tough for any wide receiver. Russell Wilson's not looked good this year. That stadium is loud. Kansas City wants to win this game. I'm going Cam Akers still.
Cam Akers.
And the matchup, JL. The Chargers are one of the premier matchups for fantasy running backs. They are a full go ahead. Start your backs against them. I mean, they're up there with, whenever we're talking about teams that you start your backs against, it's Houston, it's Cleveland, and it's the Chargers. And the Chargers might be the top defense to start your fantasy running backs against, though they've looked a little bit better in recent weeks. Like, they have looked a little bit better in the past couple weeks, but I'm still firing up Cam Akers.
I did say
he's been good though. He's been solid, consistent. 9 targets week 14, 8 targets last week, 10 targets the week before. He went against Kansas City and he had 33 points. He had 3 touchdowns against Kansas City.
Do you think the Broncos score 3 touchdowns against Kansas City again this week?
No.
See, that's where I'm leaning. Is like, that was such a weird game. I feel like Kansas City is going to come in and just knock the socks off of them.
And I did say both teams are on the road. Technically, the Rams aren't on the road. They're just the away team in SoFi today.
That's a good point. This is a
it's a home game.
Kind of a home game.
Wow. It's
going to be mostly Cowboys fans at the stadium today.
At SoFi, do they both have, like, is there like a Rams locker room and a Chargers locker room, or is it like home away locker room? I wonder. There's got to be 2 locker rooms there.
Our producer Heather sending over an update from Adam Schefter on this exact thing, saying the Rams are considered the road team for today's game versus the Chargers, and thus do not get parking at SoFi Stadium. Instead, with the Chargers staying at the regular LA hotel, the Rams stayed at a different hotel in Westwood and are busing from there to the stadium and back post game because they don't get parking spots at SoFi since they're the away team.
That's messed up.
That's hilarious. It reminds me of that story that I brought up one time on air where the Clippers wouldn't give Shaq tickets for his friends on his birthday at the same stadium where he usually plays his home games, but they wouldn't give him tickets. And so he was going to take it easy, but instead he then told everyone on his team, I don't care what the game plan is. Screw your triangles. Just get me the ball. And he dropped like 60 plus points in that game on his birthday.
Is this the story where is the reason he hates San Antonio?
No, that's Charles Barkley who hates San Antonio.
Oh, who did you say?
Shaq,
total different guy.
Totally different guy. But Shaq just went off on his birthday out of spite. Better Allen, you're saying parking at SoFi is a nightmare. Yeah, it absolutely can.
They could park at the NFL Network studios and walk over. I know a guy that works there. I can get him a parking spot if they want.
Humble brag.
John Luke, I think I'm rolling Cam Akers. Who do you have in there right now?
Right now, I have Jerry Jeudy in.
It sounds like that's the way you're leaning.
I don't know. I'm honestly so split on this one that it hurts. Like, I've just been going back and forth. They're really my only 2 options that I'm deciding between. I'm not going to go Chuba Hubbard over either of these guys. No. I got Chuba Hubbard. I got Demarcus Robinson, Deion Jackson.
Well, who's in your starting lineup? Is there a way to get both of them in there?
Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift. I guess I could switch Akers for Swift. But I don't want to do that. Not against Chicago.
No, I want Swift.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. I think I don't know. We'll see.
Let's make you rethink the rest of your lineup too.
Yeah.
I'm starting Cam Akers over DeAndre Swift.
Are you?
I'm starting Cam Akers over DeAndre Swift. It's a beautiful matchup. He should be the lead main back. And man, it's so close. It's a great matchup for both of these guys, but Cam Akers has been on fire and he's the guy, the one guy. Justin Jackson being up definitely lifts DeAndre Swift up a little bit, but I'd get Akers in there over Swift.
That's fair.
We got Terry in here with a super chat. Thank you so much, Terry. Hey. We appreciate it. And wants to know Miles Sanders, Ramondre Stevenson, Christian Kirk, Rashad White, or Amari Cooper in full PPR. Which way you rolling, John Luke?
Say the names one more time.
Miles Sanders, Ramondre Stevenson, Christian Kirk, Rashad White, or Amari Cooper, full PPR.
Miles Sanders for sure is locked in. I think Are we just picking one, or are we picking more?
Just one.
Oh no! Then I think I'm gonna go. Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kirk over Cousins here in full PPR. I'm sorry, Kirk over Sanders. Kirk
I'm
over
going.
Cousins.
I'm rolling Miles Sanders out here. I think, especially with Jalen Hurts out. Joe, you mentioned it earlier. I think Miles Sanders is the guy for me. What about you?
Ramondre Stevenson's a part of this question, is he not?
Ramondre Stevenson is a part of this question,
Yeah,
Joe.
it's going to be Ramondre Stevenson for me. He's my RB6. I'm not worried about Damian Harris being back.
Yeah, you're right. I missed Stevenson in there.
Yeah, I felt like you guys did, but I didn't want to call you out on stream because that's rude. But I guess
it's tough because
I'm just rude.
It's just the last names here, and then it's for some reason like Miles, Kirk and White. Kirk and White is like the first or last name of a lot of people.
Yeah, Miles Stevenson does sound like a jazz musician, though, doesn't it?
Miles Stevenson does, yeah.
Presenting on the jazz flute, Miles Stevenson.
Oh, he plays the saxophone. Stop being ignorant.
No, I think you're right, Joey. I do think it is Ramondre Stevenson. I like Miles Sanders this week, though, as a play, but I did skip right over Stevenson there. And then Terry also wanted to know Josh Jacobs or Miles Sanders. So this one's close, but I think
it's tough.
Joe, you're rolling Jacobs?
Yeah.
I'm rolling Miles Sanders here. This is where I do roll Miles Sanders. Jared Stidham starting and against the San Francisco 49ers is enough for me to downgrade him just below Miles Sanders into that RB2 territory.
Yeah, we talked about, we had this exact question earlier, and we went Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs after a bunch of debate, and JL booing us that first time too. So
yeah, I boo you guys every time.
JL, you know what? At least you're consistent.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Fully consistent. Frank DeTankin, you had a question for us.
Hey.
So do I play Aaron Jones even with losing usage to Dillon and nagging injuries, or do I start Akers, Pacheco, or Swift? So Aaron Jones, Cam Akers, Isaiah Pacheco, or DeAndre Swift. Joey, which way are you rolling?
I'm going to go Akers over Aaron Jones.
I'm also going Akers over Aaron Jones here. What about you, John Luke?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Bless you.
I think I stole Joey's sneeze right there, is what happened.
Yeah, you did.
I still have suppressed it because I'm a professional.
I am not, and so I sneezed it right on out. Thanks for sending it over. We have an update from Adam Schefter that our producer Heather's throwing in here for us. The NFLPA, so the NFL Players Association, is filing a grievance against the NFL and Carolina for the hardness of the playing field in last Saturday's Lions-Panthers game. The NFLPA complained before the game and said the field conditions in the extreme cold only worsened as the game progressed. What do you guys think about this? Anything going to come of this?
It's possible. And the NFLPA complains a lot about this kind of stuff, and I feel like a lot of things don't come from it. So 50-50.
I think maybe not this in particular, but I do feel like playing surfaces have been such a hot topic this season, like turf versus grass. Now we're talking about playing surfaces being too hard in the extreme cold. And I think maybe not this season, but over the next couple seasons, off seasons, we're going to see more intentional studies about the effect of different playing surfaces on injuries in the NFL. And we'll probably see some changes to like the standardization of what these fields need to look like across the league in the coming 2 seasons, because people have been talking about it a lot. Every time a player gets injured and it's on turf, we hear it again, right? We need real grass. Turf causes more injuries, but there's not the data to back it up yet.
I did it, guys.
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
I put Akers in.
Yeah.
11 minutes to go, and you made the switch, JL. Oh, imagine how bad that's going to feel if Jerry Jeudy throws up.
Don't you believe me, Simon? I've already thought of that many times.
You know, the Chiefs aren't that great against the pass this year, so Jerry Jeudy is going to be pretty good today, actually.
Shut up, Joey. Don't you do this to me, please.
Yeah, let's get just a string of Jerry Jeudy questions in the chat where we answer Jerry Jeudy every time so that we can make JL question.
I would start Jerry Jeudy over Justin Jefferson. He's my favorite JJ today out there. No, it's not true. Don't do that, everybody.
Please don't do that.
No, please don't. Imagine if somebody just tuned in for 1 second and that's all they heard.
For one second. Well, that's what they get then.
I'm going to get so much hate mail.
Tuned in for 1 second and fully trusted the guy that they've never seen before, telling them to start Jerry Jeudy over Justin Jefferson and left. They're like, got what I need. Out.
So they've seen you guys before, but not
somehow that was exactly what I was looking for.
We weren't the ones that said it.
Simon, whatever.
I never said they saw us.
No, I heard exactly what you said, Simon.
Oh my God. Fabian in here said full PPR in a flex league. DJ Moore, Christian Watson, or Chris Olave So Joey, which way you rolling here? DJ Moore,
Here's the-
Christian Watson, or Olave?
It's gonna be DJ Moore. Earlier we were trying to get DJ Moore as an answer to a question and we couldn't, but we can here. I lead DJ Moore quite a bit this week against Tampa Bay. So, I don't know,
John
Tampa
Luke,
Bay.
what about you?
Yeah, I'm with Joey, DJ Moore for sure.
It's gonna be a triple DJ Moore. And then
That's a
Spencer in here
solid
said,
one. That's not even a doubt.
Spencer had a question for us. Said, I have Akers at running back 2 over Swift. Thoughts on that? We were just talking about this a little bit because JL is facing that exact decision. Well, not anymore, but
I feel ya.
potentially. I'm rolling Akers out over Swift. They both have great matchups. Akers not splitting as much as Swift is. So I'm going to roll him out. John Luke, based on your lineup, you're starting Swift, right?
I'm
Or
starting
you're
Swift
close.
over Akers. Yeah, I'm starting both of these guys. I made the decision to start both of them and sit Jerry Jeudy, much to my own chagrin. But yeah, I think Swift is a more sure thing than Cam Akers this week.
What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I'll play Swift over Akers. They're really, really close.
It's close, but I'm rolling Akers. I know both of you guys are on the Swift side. So Fabian, 2 against 1. These guys got me outvoted right here. No, that was Spencer who asked that. Then Spencer also wanted to know Christian Kirk or Michael Pittman at the wide receiver 2 spot.
Kirk.
So where are you rolling here? Kirk, JL?
Yep.
It's a very firm Kirk.
It is such a firm Kirk. And then they need to fill the flex spot. So between Michael Pittman and DeAndre Swift or Cam Akers, who's that flex spot going to be?
Swift.
Well, I guess you guys were already starting Swift as the running back.
Oh,
So
Akers.
Would it be Akers or would it be Pittman for you guys?
Akers. Yeah.
Okay, then you know what? Look where we ended up. We all started the same 3, even though we disagreed. It's going to be Akers, Swift, and Kirk as the 3 that I start. Spencer. And then Frank DeTankin here wanted to know DJ Chark, Mike Williams, or Michael Pittman. Would have the stack with Goff if I went Chark. Joey, you going to be tempted by the stack to go over Mike Williams, or you still getting M. Will in there?
I like myself a good stack. I like stack records, but I'm still going to go Mike Williams.
John Luke?
I don't know what a stack record is, but I'm going to go Mike Williams.
Stacks Record was like a record company that
Like
produced a
Tower
bunch of
Records?
R&B. No, like a record label.
Oh, I miss Tower Records.
Tower
Those were the
Records. Tower Records is
coolest
awesome.
stores.
This is the vibe, bro.
That's where I got an electric bass when they went out of business, though. It was on
Nice.
crazy sale. Got that electric bass and an amp from Tower Records when they went out of business. But I wish you could come back, Tower Records. We miss you.
Yeah, I spent a ton of times in there.
Terry in here said you guys aren't worried about Stevenson's fumble and the return of Damian Harris. So Joey, you've been talking quite a bit about how you're not nervous about Harris coming back at all this week.
No, I think Stevenson's really set himself apart in this Patriots running game this season. So I'm not necessarily worried about Damian Harris going forth. I think Damian Harris is probably on a different team starting next year.
I'm
a little worried. I mean, he's kind of had 2 games he goofed away. I could see Bill Belichick doing something to him, but I think he'll be fine.
You think Billy B maybe operates by the 2 goofs you're out philosophy?
2 goofs you're out. Yep.
But maybe
2 goof you go on.
Maybe he gets 1 gaff left. 2 goofs and 1 gaff, then you're out. We'll find out today which philosophy Billy B aligns himself with. Also, Spencer said, beautiful. Feels bad benching Pittman now, but that's the way the fantasy gods have allowed it. LOL. Yeah. Sometimes you get to the fantasy championship and you're starting Chuba Hubbard and Tyler Algier and DJ Chark, and you're like, how the
Life
hell
comes
did
at
we
you
get
fast.
here? And then you sit
Over
there.
17 weeks.
Okay, but for real, how the heck is it week 17? All of
I
a
don't
sudden
know.
the season's almost over. We're going to have most of the playoff field locked up after this week. A couple teams left, a couple wild card spots left up for grabs next week. I'm excited.
It was
I'm
simultaneously very long and very quick.
at the same time. Yeah, it went by quick, and now all of a sudden it's like, whoa, how did we get here? But we got some exciting games this week. And guys, if you're just joining us now, I wanted to give a quick rundown of the things you need to know with 5 minutes left until kickoff here. There's a couple big name quarterbacks out this week. Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Jalen Hurts all not playing. And then Colt McCoy for the Cardinals is also out, with Kyler Murray already out, which means David Blau is going to be starting there. DeAndre Hopkins is out today as well, so you're not going to see him. But the good news is Chris Olave and Jerry Jeudy, who are both questionable, are both active this week. So you're going to get both of those guys on the field to help you bring home the ship. We had a question in here from Johnny D. Wanted to know Fields or Goff for the championship start. John Luke, This one hurts my feelings. This one
This
I
is
do not
fun.
want to even answer, but what are you doing here? Fields or Goff?
This is a fun one. I'm going to go Fields. I'm going to go Fields. I'm going to lean Fields over Jared Goff this week. And the rushing really changes or is the tiebreaker here. Even though I know Justin Fields has not been rushing as much recently, he still has that upside.
Joey, what are you doing?
So hard. It's going to be Fields. It is. It's tough because I really like Jared Goff today, but Justin Fields can win you a championship. Jared Goff can manage you into a championship. But yeah, it's Justin Fields.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Fields. Those are the 4 quarterbacks I will start over Jared Goff this week. There's only, like you asked, between like 4 and 5 quarterbacks this week. I'm rolling Fields, but man, what a good position to find yourself in. And luckily your opponent can't start Jared Goff against you if you do roll with Fields out there. That one's tough. That feels bad to put Jared Goff on the bench in this matchup, but you got Fields sitting there. Terry said, I'm in my championship without D-Hop, Hurts, Henry, and Devo.
Yeah.
No!
You got
Bring
this,
it home
Terry.
anyways, Terry.
Get
Bring it home.
Imagine the smack talk you're going to be able to do, Terry, if you bring home the championship anyways. And then Henrik in here said, need all 3, all flex, half PPR, Dotson, Dobbins, Pittman, Cooks, Dortch, and Khalil Herbert. John Luke, what do you think here?
Need 3. So I'm locking in Dobbins. I'm locking in John Dotson. And then my third one's going to be Pittman.
What about you, Joey?
I agree with Joe on the first 2. And I'll put
Let me guess, Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks in, yeah.
Oh, coward.
I am a coward.
And I'm going to agree with Joey here. I'm going to go with Joey on this one. Everybody who joined us this morning, I want to thank you so much for bringing in the new year with Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. Best of luck to all of you in your fantasy football championships today. Bring home those titles. Then on Monday morning at 7 a.m., come on over to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show and tell us about all your victories. Good luck, and we will see you guys bright and early tomorrow.